Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the I2I Motorsports Xfinity Championship from Talladega. It's round 2 of the playoffs. 2 rounds to go in our season. We've got a brilliant championship finale to come. Next week, of course, we'll be crowning our champion in the Xfinity Championship from Homestead Miami Speedway. Tonight, though, it's Alabama and Talladega, the Super Speedway, for round 10 of our series for the Shake and Bake 200. I'm Ewan O'Leary alongside Hamish Monroe in the commentary box with Jim Cunningham on the production of this broadcast here tonight. Good to be alongside you, Hamish. Our second Super Speedway race of the season, or third if you count Atlanta, which I suppose we have to these days. There's not much more to add than that, is it? It's a super speedway race at Talladega, and there's playoffs on the line as well. There's not much more to say other than this is going to be absolutely crucial this season.
Well, there's a couple of things we can talk about, Ewan. We can talk about the fact that Talladega is probably, amongst NASCAR fans, probably the most well-known NASCAR circuit in the world. It has an aura about it, of course, as a big super speedway. As it's been lit up in film. It's been highlighted across the times of stock car racing in the US as well. We can also talk about the fact that, yes, this is a super speedway. It is during the playoffs as well. It's an X factor circuit. It's a circuit that you can get caught up in anyone else's trouble. You can get caught up in your own very, very easily around here based on how high paced it is, based on the fact we're likely going to be running with two rows of cars, line of stern, around these corners. And then there's the other X factor of, well, how much pressure is now on these playoff drivers after last week's events? What sort of pressure's on Bailey Brannon? Does Trey Jones feel less pressure than he felt last week as well? It's an amazing storyline as we come in towards the latter end of the season, of course, with only 2 rounds to go tonight at Dega, next week at Miami. If a poor round is to be had tonight by one of those front runners, it is going to be a tough night next week in Miami. They need to try and focus up, get some points on the board tonight at Dega, and hope and pray that they survive the carnage that is super speedway racing in these Xfinity cars. And I have to point out, I feel like I'm probably the only person who didn't realize Talladega is in Alabama, Ewan. So that took me back a little bit when I found that out. But I'm excited, though. It's a big night of racing. It's a world-famous super speedway. And it's one that's going to be, I don't even think we can make a prediction for what's going to happen tonight, just based on the fact that it's Dega, and Dega may decide who wins.
I thought most people knew that, but apparently not. I don't know. But there you go.
Maybe I'm just slow. Who knows?
I don't know. It's you're not American, so we'll let you off for that. The closest big city, I suppose, is probably Atlanta, but that's not in the same state. So there you go. And it's probably about 1 million miles because it is America after all. So there you go. You can look at it on a map and it looks quite close, but it probably isn't really. But an hour and a half we're hearing. Oh, okay. That's less than I thought, but there you go. Anyway, that's the part of the world we're dealing with anyway. Of course, we've already been to Atlanta this season. We'll be going a bit further south to Miami, as you say, for the final round of the season. Homestead, the traditional finale. Certainly when I started watching NASCAR, that was where the finale was, and it was for many years, actually. Can't remember quite how many. Whenever it moved from Atlanta, back in its old mile-and-a-half version in the early 2000s, I think, it moved to Homestead and stayed there until the late... until COVID times, I think, actually, somewhere around there for Phoenix, where we now have the real life finale, but we don't have it there in this series, and I think that's probably a good thing. We haven't had it, in fact, at any point in this season. Actually, Phoenix, not too many short tracks for us this season. Some of the drivers will be a little bit pleased about that, to be honest. But let's have a look as they just draw towards the end of practice at the moment. We'll see whether they advance the session on or whether they'll practice for another 5 more minutes. See what the championship standings are, and talk a little bit about the previous round of the championship, which took place at Las Vegas. Quite a lot of green flag runs actually across the board in that round, and it was a good race overall. But Trey Jones taking the victory overall. Hamish, now tied on points with Bailey Brannon at the top of the standings. I mean, that was a super important win for him, and what a time to get your first win of the season as well.
Yeah, I mean, really important moment for Trey and for his championship challenge as well. For Bailey Brannon, he cannot make any mistakes tonight. We saw how difficult of a race it was for him last week. We both, spoke about the fact that we felt that both Trey and Bailey were probably the 2 drivers of the night out at Las Vegas, just based on the comeback story that Bailey had throughout that race, but also the dominance of Trey throughout that race too. you'd be hoping if you're a Bailey Brandon fan, it can go the other way tonight, that Bailey can be dominant and Trey can have the tough night on the road. But again, that I mentioned that Dega's the X factor. It's one where you can never pick who's going to win it. Anyone in the field, realistically, Ewan, could win this race if the rhythm goes their way and if somebody else gets caught up in issues. It's probably the highest likelihood of the whole field having an opportunity to win the race, more so than any other track we've had this season.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Super Speedway Racing brings for the 20 drivers who have brought themselves to Talladega tonight. We'll just get those championship standings up for you in full in a moment once we've got them. There they are. Bailey Brandon and Trey Jones leading 1 and 2. Then you've got Charles Rinker, 5 points back. Cody Pruitt, another point back behind him. Mike Rinker, another 4 points behind him. Then you've got Paul Harris, Robert Stevens Jr., I would say probably at the cut-off for those who are realistically going to win the title. Nicholas Meadows in 8th place, and John Robertson, Zach Smathers, I think, are probably out of it already after not appearing at Las Vegas last week, unfortunately for them. So, of course, no winning you're in this series, which has meant the 10 best drivers in points have got themselves through into the playoffs. And unfortunately, 2 of those probably have dropped out already. But would you agree that we can limit it down to a top 7 now as well? Would you agree that we can sort of write off Nicholas Meadows after now 28 points his gap grew to in last week's race? Did actually gain a place to get up to 8th place. But yeah, he's 28 points back. And I personally feel that is probably too far.
Yeah, probably a little bit too far for Nick. I mean, the realistic outcome for him to even possibly challenge for the title now is he would have to win the race and everyone else within the top 10 would have to finish at the back of the field. With only 20 cars on track tonight, it's not as many points he's able to gain on them throughout the race. And it wouldn't just be that would have to happen. It'd have to happen tonight and next week at Miami for him to even have a hope in hell of challenging them. So I think we can probably write Nick out at the moment. If we have a poor race from Paul Harris and Rob Stevens Jr. tonight, maybe even Mike Rinker, they may get a line put through them as well. It's the top 4 for me that I think, even if they have a bad race, we can't quite knock them out just yet because they're very, very close on points. And depending on how many points they could give up across tonight, well, then that may sway us a little bit. But I think even if they give up a couple of points, we may be okay and say, hey, they'll go to Homestead and they'll challenge for it. I'm excited for next week, though, Ewan. I mean, Homestead is my favorite NASCAR roval course, even though we're running the oval, obviously. I had the pleasure of calling the action at Homestead on Friday, and it was actually a very, very good race. We had a lot of cautions. There were 11 cautions throughout that race, but it was a good event and it was a fun race. So I'm excited to see what I2I can do next week. And I'm excited for Dega tonight because this is going to be a fun one. It's it's a very notable track. Interestingly enough, though, we did have the question in chat. We call it a super speedway. What superpower would this track have, though, to make it super? I mean, that's maybe a question for Jim to think about in the background, possibly. I don't know.
The power to make strange people win, I suppose.
Maybe the power of destruction. Maybe it's
yeah. That's yeah. Yeah, it's there's a few of them. Is that true? When was that? $230? Goodness me. Good grief. Oh, sorry. I thought you could hear Jim.
Well, we're getting the information pumped in regardless. I mean, that's... people who watch this long enough now, surely they just expect you to be yourself at some point.
They do.
I mean,
so I am in now. Yeah, so the fastest lap in NASCAR history was recorded here by Bill Elliott pre restrictor plates on the racing, and it was
is that in the car of
it's
tomorrow
a
from
no, it was
2000s?
It was more like the 87. The ones that you see is the 87s on here. It was like in that style, okay. Thunderbird, and he ran like 200 and I don't know, either like 228 or 232. Oh, it was close.
That would have
the car was
such a death trap.
The car was close to lifting off the track, and that's why they decided to put restrictor plates on it. They didn't have the kind of downforce to hold the cars down at those kind of speeds. So, like when cars would wreck, they would fly up into the fencing and stuff because they were just so prone to catching air with that kind of speed. So that's when they decided to go restrictor plate racing.
Yeah, that does make sense. To be honest, I've just read up on it, Jim. By the way, 212.8 miles an hour it was apparently.
Oh,
230.
Oh no,
212.
230 was his top speed at the end of the straightaway. That's what.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, that's the average speed
Yeah,
across the
right.
lap. Still 213 nearly over the lap is outrageous.
Yes.
But there you go. Doesn't say. 1987, as you say. Yeah, it was literally in 1987 at this at this venue. So there you go. Yeah, back in the day, as you say, but just before, in those years preceding the restrictor plates racing, it was very, very fast indeed. And I think restrictor plates racing was put in place in the mid 90s? Question mark. Something like 30 years ago.
Probably something
Maybe
like
late
that.
90s.
Well, no, it would have been
Something
late
like
80s or early 90s.
Okay,
I would
thought
think.
I thought the first years of the Gen 4 car was done with no restrictor plate.
That's possible. I don't exactly remember, but I hated it when restrictor plates came out, because then it became the modern day, what you see nowadays, which is, the pack racing and nobody can pull away from each other, that style of racing.
Oh, you're right. Restrictor plates were made mandatory at 88.
Right after Bill Elliott's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the what I mean is sort of the restrictor plate racing as we know it, because that didn't start in 88. That started later.
I think
I've seen.
I think the original restrictor plates allowed a lot more fuel still. It just slowed the cars down some. And then eventually they got to the really restricted restrictor plates, which basically created what we know today as super speedway racing. I think it was a progressive thing.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yes. But yeah, there we go. Anyway, that's a bit of NASCAR history for you there. Bit of a diversion away from the from the qualifying session, which has just begun. Anyway, it's not very exciting qualifying, to be honest, in super speedway. So we'll just show you the times when they complete. But
I beg to differ. Two hours of it last night I enjoyed. All right, I'm going back to my little cubby hole now. You guys have a good broadcast. I'm gonna sit here and feed you pictures.
Thanks very much for the for the NASCAR history. That's what me and Hamish need brushing up on most. So there we go. Trey Jones moves up to the top. Meantime, 54.5 with that qualifying time. William Hawkes up to second. Cody Pruitt third, and then Nate Owen, the first non-playoff driver, in fourth.
On our timing, Ewan, I need to point this out. Jones, Hawker, and Pruitt have had the exact same lap time of 54.52. Now, that will obviously go to the thousandth of a second. Brandon goes top with a 54.47, so he's bringing the challenge right to Trey Jones. But yeah, the fact that to the rounded up 100th, all three cars are at the same pace, this is going to be a very close race, and they're going to be on a knife's edge across the whole event, I feel, Ewan. And I think if we get an early pace car, let's say within the first 15 laps, we may be in for a safety car fest if we're not careful, because you get restarted, your rhythm gets broken, and then all of a sudden drivers make mistakes and we get caution after caution after caution. So it's a big possibility that can happen. But time will tell of how the drivers approach this race and how they approach their attempts at trying to get solid points on the board for the playoffs as well. Anderson crosses the line to finish his first actual qualifying lap, but he's gone right to the bottom. 19th for Anderson. Not bringing not feeling like a Talladega night right now in that Wonder Bread car.
I'm presuming you've both seen Talladega nights.
Yes, I have.
They're going to lambast me for
we'll see if we'll see if he spills Paul Harris's macchiato here tonight.
You can make all the references you want. I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to understand what you're talking about.
What the hell, Ewan?
I mean, I feel like I need to join back in just for the fact that you haven't seen it.
I thought we were discussing this history recently, or maybe it was with somebody else. But no,
I tell you what we need to do. So after, obviously next week's the final round at Homestead. The week after the final round.
Well, he's probably got 3 races booked that night.
No, it probably does, yeah. I can't believe the
probably
fact
not.
that last Sunday you were up to do this, went to bed, got up, went and did a Bathurst 1000 broadcast. That's insane.
I did do that, yeah.
I,
And I'm going to do an Australian league
I
tomorrow
turned
morning
it
as
on,
well.
Jim,
So.
and I heard Ewan's voice. I'm like, what the
Well,
hell?
To be fair, I'm going to be in the Australian broadcast with you in the morning. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, exactly. So we're both doing it tonight.
yeah,
That'll be early for you, Jim. By the way.
yeah,
Goodness
it's
me.
yeah, like I
That's
think
a
I get up
start.
at 5 for that in the morning for that one.
5 o'clock. Goodness me. Well,
Anyway,
there
you
we
know.
go.
I'm kind of crazy. Anyway, all right,
fine,
I'm back.
good.
Yeah, but yes, so we do need to have a Talladega watch party at some point in time.
So
It's,
That's-
maybe to
what year
round
was
out
it
the
made, by the
season.
way? What year was Talladega Nights made?
2006, I think it was.
Okay.
Probably something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's you
Because
get,
Step Brothers was 2008, so
yeah,
was
Step
like
Brothers
2
was
years
right
between
after that.
films.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's got Sacha
know,
Baron
is that a
Cohen in
film?
it too. So
Right, this is going so far in my head I can't even.
so you don't know who
It's- it's
Sacha
fine.
Baron Cohen is?
No, I don't.
The
no.
comedian.
oh my god,
Do you ever see
he's
Borat?
an English comedian as well.
Right.
I've
Ewan,
not seen
so-
Borat either. No.
No,
Oh,
not even
Ewan,
a clip from
Ewan,
Borat or anything.
Right. Okay, Ewan, we are now going to lock you in on the calendar for
Yeah, we're gonna
2
have
weeks
a
from today.
Yeah,
and we're going to
bro,
watch Talladega Nights. Same time that we would broadcast I2I.
Yep, I'm
The
gonna.
week after the last round, we're going to watch it.
Yeah, we are. That's a good plan.
Oh my god.
All right, back to my
Oh my
cubby
God,
hole.
that's
Y'all
what
have a
I'm
good
for,
broadcast here. We're about to we got about 2 minutes or so left in this warm up session. Y'all have fun.
Well,
thanks so
Ewan,
much.
I'm going to ask for you to cherry pick a race winner out of this because I think us picking a race winner is going to be about as helpful as or as analytic as we could possibly make it because we're never really going to know who can win because of how spectacularly it can go wrong at Talladega for some drivers. But I'm going to put you on the spot and say make a choice of who you think may get lucky and win this race.
Well, thanks for that. The thing
You're
is,
welcome.
you know, it is worth noting. Is our job. It's worth noting that we've got a precedent, if you like, with a couple of previous rounds. So worth remembering that Cody Pruitt won the Daytona race earlier on this season, and at Atlanta, is that called Echo something Speedway? These
Park
days?
Speedway.
Yeah. So I was looking for it on the list and I couldn't see Atlanta anyway. What's gone wrong there? Anyway, yeah, John Roberts was the victor there. But just to continue on, basically, because I really want my prediction from weeks and weeks ago about the whole thing to actually go right. I'm going to say Mike Rinker. I'll ask you about his strategy of not qualifying in a moment. I don't think he decided to qualify. Whether he was banned or whether that was a decision, I don't know. But yeah, just because I really want that.
I believe he
that
had
big-
an EOL from
Okay.
last week. Yeah.
Okay, just because I want that sort of big prediction to go right, really. I can't remember when we made those championship predictions, but it might have
It
been
was
at
a long
Atlanta, I
time
think.
ago.
It was quite a long
Yeah,
time ago, and I really want it to come
yeah.
off. So yeah, I'll go for him.
Did I predict
Check
that
us,
Brannon
isn't
was going to win the championship? I believe I did. Unfortunately for Jim, well, Jack is not in the playoffs. So regardless of Jack going to the UK next week and missing the last round, your prediction was wrong, Jim.
What's he
so-
doing? What's he doing in the UK?
Traveling. That's what he's going to be doing. He's also going to be going to the Nürburgring as well in October.
It's not in the UK.
I know. I know. He's going to the UK, and then he's heading over to the Nürburgring, and then I believe he's coming home. And then the weekend after he comes home, we're doing the Le Mans 24-hour. So it'll be an intense time.
good.
But that's questions to ask him, Ewan. Who knows? Maybe he'll make time to visit you at some point. I don't know. Depends where he's going.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I haven't really
I
asked him
can't
any
imagine
questions
he's,
about where he's going in the UK, to be fair. So I assume he's going to Nottingham.
I bet I could have one guess.
I know he's going to
If I would-
Nottingham. So
No.
oh, it'd be a great time. It'd be a great time. A great time. Yeah. I feel like we need you and I don't know about you. I feel like we need Jim out of the cave all night now because he's just going to be chirping us the whole time, and I think the fans need to hear it.
All right.
If
So
I'm
what
honest
what
with
I
you.
said is, can you imagine Ewan and Jack raw dogging it through the UK? That's what I said.
Yeah. And just to
I
get back
can't.
to the point I meant to be making before I got squirreled by myself. I think Cody Pruitt's going to win this race. That's my prediction for this one. Yeah. And I think Paul Harris won't finish on the podium because Jack Anderson is here. He's only finished on the podium in races that Jack did not drive, so it's officially now Paul will not finish on the podium.
Yeah, that's officially a pattern. So yeah, there we go. We'll look forward to that. Let's see though, and we'll bring up the starting grid actually as we get onto the grid. 200 miles set up tonight, by the way, from Talladega, 75 laps. So yeah, let's have a look at the way they're going to begin tonight. Bailey Brannan is going to be on the pole with that late lap ahead of Trey Jones, William Hawker and Cody Pruitt, who were all very close in qualifying. There's a couple moving out of line here on the start line. Nate Owen and Cody Nelson. Then on row 3 with Charles Winker and Paul Harris on row 4, all playoff drivers there. Taylor Strong and Sean Schultz's round out row 10, or the top 10 rather. Ryan Simmons and Robert Stevens Jr. start on row 6. Robert Stevens Jr. really needed a good day today if he wants to stay in playoff contention and starts the day 16 points behind Brannan and Jones, who are tied at the top. 13th is Zach Smathers. There's a couple who have not started further down the back, or at least have dropped down the field, but this is how they lined up anyway in qualifying. Chris Hone, Trey Grabber, Trey Martin, B. Strong, Daniel Wing, Jack Anderson, Mike Rear, Caleb Ross, but that has changed around a little bit. Charles Winker and Trey Grabber have dropped to the back of the field here and will start from the back. It might not be the worst idea, especially if you're a non-playoff driver. I would definitely be hanging out at the back for the first part of the race to just see how it's all going to go and avoid any crashes there's going to be, and then sneak through for the victory a little bit later on. But the playoff drivers can't necessarily afford to do that. They do have to get up there for the stage points.
Well, I think Charles going to the back of the field is strategic for those Rinker brothers. They're going to try and work together across this race, I would say, Ewan. So Charles has gone back there to be with Mike after, obviously, Mike has his EOL penalty. So we'll watch them try and work together to get through the field. But that's a lot of pressure to put on yourselves to try and fight through the train at a super speedway where any small mistake, even by an inch, even by a millimeter, you could end up in the wall. So we'll see if it pays out for them, though. But Brannan at the front, Trey Jones at the front as well. So front row, Hawker and Pruitt up there too. Owen, Strong, Nelson, Simmons, Harris, Smathers. That's the top 10 as we get going here. Just before we do get to green, there's been claims in the chat that Zach Smathers is actually a woman trapped in a man's body that is often confused as a woman's body. We'll let you figure that one out for your own as we get up to the start zone.
Sounds like he's got some figuring out to do as well.
Apparently.
Let's bring the field to the green then, shall we, for the Shake and Bake 200 here from Talladega. It's round 2 of the playoffs. Just a couple of races until we crown a champion in the I2I Motorsports Xfinity Championship here this season. Bailey Brannan will bring them to the green. Of course, a long way up to the start zone here because the start line is around the tri-oval. But the green flag waves at Talladega. We're underway once again for super speedway racing in the playoffs. Oh, and a close finish across the line for the first lap, and I think Trey Jones is going to lead lap 1. Bailey Brannan led most of the way round, but look at the run on the outside. Trey Jones being pushed to the lead early.
Yeah, Pruitt's hot on his heels here, giving him a little bit of a kiss on the back of that car. And we can see early, of course, here those 2 rows of cars, those 2 lines where drivers are just trying to work together to find their way through. This is now where it's crunch time. You pick a lane, you stick to it, and you hope that you pick the right one as you roll round turn 3 and 4. For Brannan, well, he's under a little bit of pressure tonight, but realistically at the front of this field, Ewan, it's going to come down to not only the rhythm, but also the momentum swing that you can get to. It's going to go back and forth probably across the first portion of this race. But as the tyres start to wear down, that could be when we start to see small mistakes happening, and that's where we could get carnage ensuing as well.
Yeah, first stage, of course, ends on lap 35, but we haven't actually gone through some of the other talking points tonight yet from this race, but 25 to 27 laps is a fuel window without the draft, and we're under caution here already. You can see that. We've got a couple at the back going down the field. Trey Martin and Caleb Ross might be the ones involved in this first caution of the night here.
Yep, it was. Caleb Ross, Trey Martin, both of them have gone off track at turn 1, 2. So both cars have just been onto the apron, and now they return back to the circuit. So I don't know if it was anything too egregious between them, although Jim might have clicked on. Oh, no, we're actually watching. That's good. I thought we were on the back straight then, to be honest with you. I got confused. Oh, my God. Well, that there is a wild moment across the tri-oval.
They held on to it.
That's a weird one. I mean, they did well to hold on to it, but what sort of damage has been done off that moment for them? I mean, it's a weird one to happen on lap 1 here, and it's not like they've got loose because of the tyres. I have to wonder was there any more contact that got the initial car loose and then dropped down to make contact with the low lines. Let's watch this here. So I think it was Caleb Ross who got, or Trey Martin actually, that got loose on the top. Yeah, he got a little kiss on the back of that car, and it's gotten it really loose. Both of them have crossed into pit lane and exited pit lane, so they may actually get drive-through penalties now because of unsafe entries or exits. In fact, they both do have black flags, so that's a shame for them. Nothing was, it wasn't their fault necessarily, but that's the issue with the system, it seems. So they'll have to traverse through pit road.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't seem that there'll be any too bad damage there. Sorry, Jim.
It's quite unlucky there, the way they both held on to it, and minimal amount of damage to those cars considering what could have happened at those speeds, and then they end up crossing the pit line. Of course, they're already at the back of the lead lap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That drive-through is not going to really hurt them.
No, it won't. I mean, they're still on the lead lap. They don't have to commit to it under green, although Martin has not come in to commit to his just yet, Ewan, but Ross has. Ross has actually taken a pit stop. So I'd say they're going to have to wait possibly until green flag running, but they shouldn't go a lap down when they have to commit to that drive-through.
Well, if they got to do it under green flag running, it's going to be a lot worse because they're going to also be a 2-car pack out there trying to keep up with those big giant packs. That's going to cost them a lot of time. If there's not another caution pretty quickly, they're going to go a lap down before too very long.
Yeah. And they'll be hoping, I suppose, that this is going to be caution filled this first stage, but I don't see that it is going to be. It just, as you say, seemed like a bad push through the tri-oval, but a bit of a warning to everybody really that these cars, any stock cars really around here at Talladega and also at Daytona and Atlanta as well, you can't push through the corners, and that was a brilliant case of that there. That's what happens when you do try and push, even if it's just through the gentle corner of the tri-oval.
Yeah, I mean, the slightest of breeze might get the cars loose here tonight by the looks of it, because it was only the slightest touch, but they get real loose through those corners, and we've seen it, play out for some drivers previously. We've also seen it bite them hard, trying to get into a bump draft scenario through corners, and it's a tough, it's a tough go for drivers to get caught up in incidents like that. At this stage, to give you the quick recap, we've had cautions we've had one for one lap thus far of this race. Only one lead change as well, so everything can happen in one lap. We get a caution, we get a lead change, and now we're already out to lap 4 of 75. So, of course, stage 1 ends, Ewan, tonight at lap 35, and then the final stage is 40 laps here this evening as well. They shouldn't make 35 on fuel. They will need a pit stop at some stage unless we get absolute maximum cautions across this first period of the race.
Yeah, I would say that you probably need at least 2 in this first part of the race, because don't forget that fuel gauge on our system there is 25 to 27 laps without the draft. Obviously, a lot of the guys further back in the pack will have it, so I wonder how much that is going to save them when you're back in the pack, and how much saving there is going to be, because if they really put their mind to it, I reckon a lot of the guys further back could really save a lot and maybe try without the pit stop, get to the end of the first stage.
Well, I wonder about that, because the fuel numbers were given to us by people from the league. I wonder if those fuel numbers were actually something that they calculated based on running in the draft when they gave them to us. probably a question I should have asked, but you know.
Yeah, that would have been a good clarification question, Jim, to ask.
Well,
actually.
We can drag Trey in here in the next caution and find out.
We could. I could also go on a mission at some point to go ask them the confirmation if I know what drivers gave you the numbers.
Well, if you would have read the pre-race notes, you would know that Trey gave them to us, but clearly you didn't.
I don't read, Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
like my good Australian friend, we raw dog.
We raw dog. That's right.
Just on pure feeling.
That's right.
Pure vibes. It is pure vibes.
Yeah. No, I like the pure feeling. That's perfect.
Pure feeling. Yeah, I don't use the V word.
Yeah,
it's too.
Pure feeling. It's
too. Pure feeling. Anyway, pace car's going to pull in here, and the inside line's very long indeed as the pitted drivers line up in a row. Caleb Ross, Trey Grabber, Charles Rinker and Mike Rinker all came down pit lane for varying amounts of time. So they're at the back as Bailey Brennan brings us into the Hawkers Automotive restart zone, and the green flag waves again from Talladega. First restart of the night.
So just to confirm, as we get restarted, it's 25 to 27 laps without draft.
Okay.
So with draft, they could probably make 30 laps, I would say, Ewan, if they went green the whole way. So some drivers have come in on that first caution, including Charles and Mike Rinker at the back of the field. So we may see them jump some spots now up towards the end of this stage, but there's still plenty of time to go and plenty of opportunity for action to happen. As Brannon and Jones sit a line astern down the back straight, giving each other a little bit of a push. William Hawker on the outside line with Cody Pruitt as well. So there's been a little changeover for the lanes. As you're right on board with Jones through 3 and 4. He's just trying to hang on to the back of the Florida State entry of Bailey Brannon at the lead of this race. Top 2 in the championship, separated by barely a whisper at the moment.
Look at this, fantastic between Jones and Brannon at the moment. Actually helping one another on the inside line. As on the outside, Hawker goes through to lead a lap. He leads the first lap since the restart. What a push that is from Cody Pruitt. Your pick for the race at the start of the day here. And clearly he's got a good car because that was a big push, although the inside through the turn is way quicker. This is a real flip-flopping battle at the moment between competing battles outside and inside line at the moment down the backstretch.
Yeah, they're all just, and this is the beauty of super speedway racing. They get into the lines astern. It is, you try and hold on for dear life. There's a third lane opening up on the outside there. We can see Jack Anderson on the back of Daniel Wing. But they've got to be careful they don't get caught out and touch the wall because that could drop them back significantly. In fact, they've run out of legs there for a moment. But they are 3 wide up towards the tri-oval further back. So this is getting intense. And some of them may feel like they're going camping. It's that intense at the moment, Ewan.
Yeah, I mean, hard to see the point of that, really, to be honest, the 3 wide moments that we're seeing at the moment. But there you go. It's going to end now as the guys in the middle just filter through. That was Hone and Anderson getting filtered in there and ahead. Now they're going to... Well, they're still looking at 3 wide, aren't they? Who is that behind Jack Anderson at the moment?
That's Daniel Wing.
Is it Daniel Wing who's looking to try and make it 3 wide constantly? And look at the runs that they're getting back there.
If he goes to the outside, he's going to get eaten alive because he's not going to have anyone to push him along. He's going to have no one to give him the old suck to bring him forward either. And the side draft's not going to be strong enough to pull him forward in that point as well, Ewan. So if Daniel pulls out to that outside line, watch him drop back like a sack of potatoes drops out the back of a truck because he's not going to have anywhere to go and he's just going to hit a brick wall of air, which he's going to try and punch through.
So... The one thing there you go. Oh, he saved it.
Anderson.
Jack.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
A little bit of assistance from the wall, but that was a big save. It was contact with Wing. You could see the momentum and the concertina coming all the way down the line.
And you see now, I mean, you can see how much now Jack's dropped because he's had that moment. Obviously, the moment was big and he's dropped pace as well, but, that would have been the same situation if Daniel had pulled out and tried to come past him on the outside. He just would have hit a barrier of air. So Anderson's lucky. He'll hopefully not have too much damage on that car for his sake. But as they come up towards the tri-oval, it is now Hawker who leads the way. Pruitt in P2. Brannon and Jones have been pushed back a little bit, but now's the opportunity for them to save some fuel.
Oh, dear. Look at the way that it really bottles up into turn one is very scary, and it's exactly how actually Anderson's situation was created there, where he very nearly went around into a spin and in front of a few guys further back there. But all 21 are still in the field here, and they are still in the front group. Even Charles and Mike Rinker, who have very clearly elected to hang out at the back of the field until something big happens. Look at the distance they're giving to the rest of the field. Sat in 20th and 21st position at the moment.
So much distance at the moment as you ride with Paul Harris, currently P11. Jim, how much did you have to pay Paul to advertise on that car this week?
Not a penny. He chose to do that all on his own, which is greatly appreciated for him flying the MotorMouth Broadcasting.
I know that I got my logo on there for free because he's in love with me, apparently.
Yes.
But I didn't know if you had to pay for your logo as well.
I did not know. He's just good. Thankful that I brought you into his world.
I see. We can see, though, he is getting some side draft here off Zach Smathers onto the back straight. 3 wide action. Oh, my God. Don't make 3 lines. They're going to make 3 lines, it seems. Are we going to get 3 columns of cars battling it out through turn 3 and 4?
Boy, Paul got into the back of Cody there, and Nelson. And I mean, I can't even talk after that. Cody Pruitt. And he got Pruitt very loose. That slowed that top line right down.
Paul knows all about how to get other drivers loose.
Quit. Oh, big damage!
Oh my word! It's happened already in the first 15 laps here tonight in the Check and Bake 200. Hawker and Brannon will get clear, so will Jones, I think, at the front of the field. But how many more will have survived without any sort of damage or avoiding action there? It actually looks like there's not too much damage, actually, for all of the guys around. But that is the first big crash of the evening.
Well, there are 4 cars with meatball flags at the moment. Robert Stevens Jr., Chris Hone, Cody Nelson, and Cody Pruitt were all caught up in that incident in a mammoth moment of this race. Caution, of course, was thrown, but let's watch this back.
Where's it start from?
It's right there.
Through the tribal
it's
again.
Zach Smathers. Smathers into the back. I think of that 26 car. I think it was the 26, which was, or maybe not. There's no 26 on track, so it couldn't be it.
Probably not the 26 then.
No, I'd say no. Personally.
Cody Nelson was, by the way, the one with the biggest damage.
Yeah, it was Nelson.
Back to pit lane.
It's Nelson. So Smathers is low on him, and as they come through the tri-oval, there's just the slightest overlap between them, and all hell breaks loose.
Pruitt's caught up in that.
That's Pruitt. He has a meatball as well, so he's going to have to come into pit lane and get that car fixed.
So who is the 35?
Straight in. The 35 is Nelson, who's already in pit lane. He had to tow back to pits. So everyone in the front of the field, except for Will Hawker, are all coming into pit road. Trey Graber has stayed out. Caleb Ross has stayed out. Let's watch this. So you'll notice. So Zach goes for the low line as he comes down through the tri-oval, and then there's just the slightest of overlaps, little touch. And we mentioned they'd be on a knife's edge tonight, Ewan, and that's how tight the knife's edge is. That is how thin it is. It's only the smallest of margins, and all hell can break loose.
In live pictures, by the way, we've got a lot of guys down pit lane this time round. Only William Hawker has not been in so far here tonight. Trey Graber and Caleb Ross didn't come in that time round, but everybody else has been from third place on backwards, not all due to damage. I'm sure there'll be some fuel being taken on there, and that means that pretty much everybody's confident of being able to make it to the end of the stage. Now, Brannon, the first of them out there, back out again after that pit stop. But, you know, we've seen it already twice tonight. It's so dangerous to push through the tri-oval if you don't get it absolutely bang on, and we've seen it a couple of times already go catastrophically wrong. So, you know, I hope that the guys are going to be a bit, more careful from here on in, but I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest.
I don't think that moment there from Zach and Cody was necessarily Zach picking the wrong time to give a little push. It looked like they just got a little bit overlapped, somewhat of a racing incident. I don't think it necessarily came down to he was giving him some bump draft at the wrong time. I think for Zach there, he went to go low, Cody was covering, and they just got overlapped with each other at such high speeds. I mean, it's so easy to do.
Well,
at a circuit like this, and that's why the big ones often happen.
Though I was trying to make I was going to make this point twice earlier when Jack hit the wall. I was just right in the middle of trying to make it. If you watch when we were in that helicopter view looking at that pack, what the misconception that people don't understand about this type of racing is that it's just hold your foot down and go. But it's so much more than that. These cars in that air move all over the place. They are so hard to keep in a straight line. It's like almost impossible. And these cars they're wiggling around the whole time. And if you're more than a car or two back in the draft, you're not all the way to the floor. You're having to feather that throttle in and out to not hit the guy in front of you or to not drop back too far. But just the dirty air and the way those cars move around and kind of get out of control the whole time. I mean,
think about for those who are watching, the best way I can compare it to is that there's two ways you can compare it to. So if you think about whenever you're driving on the motorway or the freeway and you're coming up alongside a massive truck or lorry with a big trailer on the back of it, and you feel the air coming off it as you drive past, or whilst you're driving and there's massive windstorms and you can feel your car kind of wiggling as you're driving along and you're having to correct it. That's what it feels like in the train.
Right.
It feels like you are just in this massive air bubble and you're getting sucked in and you're trying to keep it in a line astern. So they're probably the two real world scenarios, at least in whenever we drive somewhere, that I can describe it as. It's like being on the freeway with a big truck or with heavy winds that then makes it. That's what it feels like in these cars and those lines, and it's so hard to control because you're at such a higher speed than what you would be on the real world road. So that's where the test comes in.
Imagine that level of wind at triple or quadruple the speed. Instead of 50 or 60 miles an hour, you're doing 200.
Yeah. It's it puts it into perspective, doesn't it? It does. At this racetrack, that's for sure. It's what Talladega is all about. But it's just notable, isn't it, that it's two very, very similar crashes that we've seen so far, or at least two similar causes. I think one was sizably bigger than the other in terms of. I don't think it will.
I don't think it'll be the last time we see it happen either. I think it's going to happen again.
Not. Probably not, no. Location may be different, although maybe not, because of course the travel does have its own oddities as well. But anyway, let's see, and hope that we get a nice green flag run from here to the stage now, because there's only 21 to go already of this first stage. Everybody believes they can make it. I think even Hawker, who hasn't pitted yet, he is now going to lead some laps here as he brings them back to green.
So I wonder, Ewan, as we get onto this back straight, we can see the run look at that push from Bailey Brandon onto the back of, I think, is that Trey Weber now into the race lead. Oh my God, that was an aggressive lane change from Brandon. He has just cut straight down and cut off William Hawker as he slots into the low line. That's going to help Will now, because he'll be able to save just a little bit more fuel. He'll be in a nicer situation in terms of fuel game now. What may happen is, though, so if we go green the whole way to the stage end and everyone can make it, he may actually get buried in the field because of the factor that everyone else will not have to put as much fuel in the car. Now, you can probably argue he's going to put tyres on in the stop, so he may end up just outside the top 10 if this field stays close to the end of the stage.
Nearly three wide again in the middle here. Jack Anderson trying to go three wide. Oh, it's three wide for the lead. Look at this. A look on the outside line from the 11. Is it? Trouble! Trouble on the back stretch!
And
more
speaking
trouble!
of Will Hawker, off he goes.
Oh, my word.
And the third caution of the race.
Well, this is going to be the pattern of the race. Already 3 cautions within 15 laps or so. I've got to say, I am surprised by the early aggression. The closer we get to the stage, the more I can understand it, but I wasn't expecting 3 cautions in 15 laps, I must say.
Yeah, it's Well, we're hitting our quota this evening for the pace car, and at this rate, we're probably going to run out of fuel on the pace car. Oh, it Smathers again with Strong.
Well, I don't think that was his fault that time.
that was
No, I don't. I think that was on Strong on the
that
outside
was on
line.
yeah.
I mean,
Strong was on that outside line. Again, why are you pushing 3 wide there with nobody behind you?
Why are you making 3 wide at lap 15 after we've already had 2 cautions? And there's 60 laps to go. Like, I don't understand the thought process there.
Don't either.
What are you going to gain by going out there on your own?
No, I don't understand that particularly either. And Smathers, I think, has actually got damage as a result of that, or he's letting a few people back past him again. Although he is involved again, it wasn't his fault. I think Strong must have been hoping that Smathers would go with him, but
slow down
there's no
here.
need for that aggression for so long. And here you can see it. There's some very helpful lines actually, like you're on a motorway here at Talladega.
Yeah, he just came over.
Comes down.
It was almost like he was trying to get back in line and thought he was clear, and he cut right across the nose of Zach Smathers.
Yeah, and William Hawker is in the blue and red, by the way, who got collected. Strong is the one who ends up the only one to make contact with the barrier.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure with that 3.
That worked out okay for Will and Zach. They're at least still in the top 5. Taylor may be a little bit out of his element. Might not be used to running up so high in the field, but yeah, that's an interesting mistake to make for sure. Zach's gonna have to come in and get that car fixed.
That's a shame for him, but bit of extra fuel might not hurt. What do you reckon about is William Hawker going to come into the pit lane? Actually, I'll see where he's going to start. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we've seen enough caution already for him to be able to make it now?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, and I think even if you think that we haven't seen enough based on the pattern that we're seeing in this race, we're likely going to see another 3 cautions across the next 15 laps. So I think he'll be fine. But the issue is he's got to try and stay in it. That there would have been a wake-up call that he could get knocked out at any stage. So he's going to have to try and tighten the screws a little bit and hope for the best that he can have some luck.
Oh, vote for Pedro. Look at there.
What's that all about?
That's from Napoleon Dynamite. You really don't watch movies, do you, Ewan?
Oh my God, is that another film?
Yes.
Alive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many films are there?
Well, a lot more than you've seen, apparently. Yeah.
Well, from what we've heard tonight, Ewan, there's at least 2.
Yeah, we know there are at least 2. Yeah.
I honestly can't remember the last one I watched. It's like fully sat through from start to finish. It's probably been at least a year.
Yeah, you sit here nearly every day and probably sit through a movie-length race.
Yes.
Oh, it's not the length of it's the fiction that I don't enjoy.
Oh, well then you got to watch movies based on true subjects.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, clearly, Napoleon Dynamite and Talladega Nights fit into that category.
Are they based on real
No,
life?
no.
Or they can, no. Okay. I didn't think so, but I've just checked.
They're not based on real life, but they're based on real-world scenarios.
No, they're not.
Yeah, but that.
What, a NASCAR race and
a French guy coming over from Formula One to dominate.
To be fair, that was a reference to one Pablo Montoya.
Yeah, but he didn't dominate NASCAR. he never got a win except for on a road course. He might have actually got one oval win.
That sounds like Marcus Ambrose to me.
That does sound like yes, but Marcus Ambrose didn't come from Formula One.
No, he wasn't good enough. He came from Tasmania.
Right.
It's a bit of the Formula One drivers from Tasmania. I bet there are.
I don't even know if there ever have been.
I doubt it.
No, I don't mean right now. I mean ever.
I would be willing to bet there's not.
Tasmania has got lower population than any other Australian state. But regardless,
I can believe that.
It is.
What is that?
That is Paul Harris.
Trey Grover's livery is quite a sight, isn't it?
It is indeed.
From front and
Well,
back.
we expected to have it last week, and then I think Trey clicked onto the fact that because I expected it and it didn't happen, I was disappointed. So he messaged me this week to tell me about it. I do know as well that Paul on the back of his car has got a little Bible verse of the I2I universe inscribed at the back there, which is FYP 2738. So those who understand the reference, at this stage, we can't say exactly what it is because it would.
Right.
Well, unless Jim says we can say it, obviously.
No, we'll skip that.
Okay. Not late enough for us.
Oh, look, it's Infinity Broadcasting on the trunk of the car there.
Look at that advertising. You can find us over at Infinity Broadcasting.
Find you over there.
Go head-to-head with... Or find me, yeah. maybe Jim will show up at some point. Who knows?
I offered the other day.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you in on a Rod Knock Cup race at some point, Jim.
I'm not.
I've already got.
Did you say that in English?
Got one. It's a NASCAR Next Gen Cup series, Jim. Called the Rod Knock Cup.
The Raw Dog Cup. Okay. All right.
The Rod Knock Cup.
The Rod Knock Cup. I thought it was the Raw Dog Cup. I was like, yes.
No. No, that would have been
I had
Jack,
fantasies about going raw dog in Australia back in the Olivia Newton-John days.
Meantime, the green flag is about to come back out again from Talladega. I've been doing my research. There's no F1 drivers from Tasmania. I'll just click through every single driver there's ever been from Australia. So there you go. You're welcome. Green flag waits again, and Trey Grabber brings them back to the green all over again. How long is this green flag run going to be? Because at this rate, we're going to have 12 cautions before the finish. Hopefully, we get a run together here.
Barney's forearms will be burning by the end of this one.
Well, they're strung out on this one. They are strung out quite a bit on this one, much more than in the past. This
may be the hope that we have to have a green flag run to the end of the stage. If they're going to get strung out like this, we could get some good green flag running. Look at the sneaky little Australian assassin on the outside, though. Sneaking up into the top 5 now is Jack Anderson as he chases down the back end of William Hawker's car. Trey Graber on the front row with Cody Pruitt alongside him, Brannon in behind. Jones is up there too. Then we've got Shalithis up there, Owen and Harris and Simmons inside of the top 10. Lap 21 of 75 about to get underway. And we have got 15 laps until the stage ends. And it is high pressure at the front of the field. But if you're in Bailey Brannon's position right now, the back of that Trey Graber car is putting the fear in you as you have to stare Paul Harris in the eyes as you follow him around.
I think Brannon is more than pleased to actually push him at the moment, but yeah, he won't be pleased about it, I suppose, as he has to look at him there. Oh, look at that run on the outside there. Look at the run for Cody Pruitt. He's back in the game after big damage under that second caution. He is now leading this race into 3.
That Texas Pete car's got some spice about it up on that top line. But for Brannon, I mean, it's a good tactic by Graber. Put the fear in the cars behind you. It's like a frill neck lizard. He's just like, stay away. You don't want to touch the back of this thing. But Graber at the moment, he's in a top level position right now, up 14 spots. Is tonight the night that Graber could get his first win of the season as we start lap 22?
Well, it'd be a great story, but there's a long way to go until between now and then. Of course, there's only one non-playoff driver who's got a win so far this season, and that's Jack Anderson, who is 19th place in the standings currently after not making the playoffs and not attending last week, unfortunately, at Las Vegas. So he would be the second non-playoff driver, Trey Grabber, to win. Speaking of which, Anderson's giving a big push on the outside line. Pruitt leading the line. He gets his nose in front briefly there on the outside into 3.
Of course, Anderson took that race win at the Red Bull Ring, the king of the road course, it seems, the I2I's own version of Shane Van Gisbergen. As we ride on board with him now down towards the Tri-Oval. He'll be a driver to watch next season when we go racing. Oh my God!
They were touching each other.
They do. Bailey does love touching Paul, but that's on the back of Trey's car, so I don't know how much they'll want to be doing that across the next portion of this race. It's probably been the longest green flag period we've had, Ewan. It's been good racing thus far. Yeah. Get the yellow.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what.
God, there might be one in a sec.
Those cars are moving around up there in the front, man. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so aggressive, isn't it? I mean, I know
it's that side draft, though. That's what happens. So, no, that side draft brings them together like that.
Yeah, I know, but, they're racing really hard at the moment with 12 to go in the stage. Now, over 50 laps to the end of the race.
Look, they're 3 wide back in the back. Why are they doing that?
And they're forming it up in the line, actually. There's two drivers on the outside there trying to form something, get something going here on the outside. And that's where things do start to go a little bit more wrong, or at least get a little bit more difficult for everybody to not crash, which we've seen them do a good job of so far.
It's quite interesting. You can make comparisons to drivers trying to make a third line to run around that outside. But in my opinion, creating a third row is a bit of a pyramid scheme, because everyone behind you is helping. The front car is getting real loose back there. Was Trey Martin, as he just drops down a couple of spots now. Charles Rinker's making his way through the field as well. And it's still 3-1. Daniel Wing, he must have an obsession with triads, because he's trying to make a third line once again. And it's going to be to no avail at this stage, but you're just putting yourself in a real drastic position that could end up very poorly towards the end of this race.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are lucky that we didn't get a caution actually from that point in the race with that push down the backstretch, as Pruitt just gets his nose in front again into one. Greber on the inside. They're absolutely neck and neck for this race lead at the moment, but still 10 to go until the end of the first stage, and it's hard to see that this is going to go green all the way to that point the way they're racing at the moment.
You just feel like one small mistake from one car far up the field could cause absolute chaos. We've already seen it happening here tonight. Drivers are trying to get their momentum runs, though. They're trying to take advantage of anything they can. But those drivers further back in the train, you can see them. There'll be slight lifts happening, a little bit of fuel saving on board those cars as well. It's a very interesting race style that is super speedway action. You know, across all three oval types that we've seen across many different series here on the channel. I mean, short tracks, speedways, and then super speedways as well. They all have different X factors about them, as Anderson wants the outside run to get into a third line now. He's got the 35 car of Cody Nelson right behind him. And look at that, 2 lines of 3, nearly 3 lines of 3 down the back stretch as they come up towards 3 and 4.
Oh, trouble! And it's going to be a crash on the backstretch.
Yep.
There it is. We thought
Cody
it was coming,
Nelson.
and it has arrived.
I'm not saying I think he might have been the cause of that one, but you realize that Cody Nelson, I think, has been involved in every crash so far.
I hadn't realised that, to be honest with you, no.
I'm pretty sure that he's been involved in every crash so far. I mean, I think that one was his fault. He got into the wall. I just don't understand why you're that deep in the field this early in the race and you're attempting to go 3 wide. I just don't, for the life of me, understand that.
No, it's very puzzling. Let's see how it happened at the bottom of your screen. Nelson.
Well, he got bumped.
It was
there.
Daniel
Wing, yeah. But again,
and
that's super speedway racing. Guys are going to bump you from behind. If you're not up there next to the wall 3 wide, you got room to take the bump. When you're running 3 wide up next to the wall on lap 20 or whatever we're on, 30, whatever it is, it doesn't make sense, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they are being so aggressive at this stage. Everybody nearly crashes into each other, reaching the pace car. I presume going to stay out here under this caution to try and get the stage points by the end. But
I wouldn't see any reason why, if you're in the top 10, you wouldn't come in a bit late now. It would not be worth it. Unless you somehow can't make it on fuel when there's only one car who hasn't pitted and we've had 4 cautions, there's no point coming in and dropping out. It's not going to help you.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Unless you're thinking about the very end of the race. You might want to stay out under the stage caution or whatever, but we'll see what they decide to do here. Maybe some of the guys down the back will pit again, like Sir Mike Rinker, who's already been in 3 times. He's topped off, I think, every time he's had a caution hit. This being the 4th for them. I think he'll have his 4th stop as well. Robert Stevens Jr. was one of those caught up in that lap crash, by the way, and he's a danger of going a lap down here. There go the leaders past the pit lane. That's no surprise. As Trey Jones momentarily disconnects, he's fine. But Hawker comes in. He's the only driver not to have been in so far in this race, and now he does come down pit lane for the first time.
So we're probably going to go green flag in the next few laps or so, which then will take us to the stage end, as long as we don't get a caution straight away,
sure?
Of course. So Hawker, yeah, we should, because we're on lap 28. So
right, you sure?
I can hope for the best. Yeah, I'm sure we can last 4 laps without a caution. We just lasted nearly 10 laps without one.
We did. Just depends
So
on how
I think
quick
they're
they
very
decide to go
capable.
3 wide.
This is true. Hawker has come in, Ross is in, Nelson, Strong, Wing, Rinker, and Stevens Jr. all into pit road as well. So it's a very interesting strategy from Will Hawker. In fact, he's come in. He's still stopped, actually. I think he's surely not. He surely hasn't got a penalty. Because why would he? He's been stopped for over 40 seconds.
Does seem like a penalty, doesn't it?
That's a long stop. Because surely not, Ewan. He would need 43 seconds for tyres and fuel.
The only thing I can think of is penalty, to be honest. Or having a wee.
Well, maybe he went to go get a chicken sandwich.
I mean, maybe.
I literally did a race yesterday where somebody messaged after the race, sorry, I lost time in that caution, I was at the toilet. So, just saying.
I mean, you got to go, you got to go. I mean,
I suppose the caution's the best time to do it. You're going to give up as least amount of time as possible.
I mean,
and if you've positioned yourself not too far away from the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, you could in theory make it and get back out, at a 2.5 mile track like this, and make it. But by the way, since we got another lap under caution here, you know how you were talking about early before the start of the race, you said something to the effect of, man, you got to wait because it's such a long way around to the start finish line. I've got a story for you as to why that is.
Go on. I think I've said it before, but go on.
You may have.
Go tell the story anyway.
So I went on a tour of Talladega last year when we were visiting colleges with my son, and we decided to go to Talladega and visit. And what happened was when Bill France Sr. built Daytona, he put the start-finish line right in the middle of the trial. And in the the earlier days, when these NASCAR races weren't just selling out everything, right? People were not sitting past the start finish line in the grandstands because they wanted to be, like somewhere around the start finish line. So when he built Talladega, he moved the start finish line way down past the tri-oval so that all the grandstands would sell out.
Yeah, it's a great idea, although I must say, why would you not buy a seat after the start finish line anyway, even if it is on the travel? I don't understand. I
don't know. I guess people just preferred to have seats, right before the start finish line or right around it. And, and France saw that and he said, well, when he built Talladega, he decided to move the start finish line way down there.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, and it's clearly where it's also sort of makes this circuit unique in a sense, because it'd be very easy, I think, to have this circuit almost feel very, very, very similar to Daytona in so many ways.
The things that he changed,
there's a bit of a difference there.
This circuit is much wider than Daytona, so there's more room, in case for cars to move around and stuff like that. What he did was he wanted to take Daytona and build a better version of it. Is what he was trying to do.
Yeah, but it's subtle differences, though, isn't it? You're not going to see that immediately. But I think I think it's one of the first things you think about when you speak about Talladega. Not least the super speedway nature of it, restricted plate racing, or whatever. But also the start finish line being in its unusual place. I think it's a real unique selling point of this circuit. So yeah, it's a good story and a good idea, and a great way of making this circuit unique, which we're using here tonight. 6 laps to go until we get to the stage, and so let's hope this is the final green flag run before we get to that point. Hawker's Automotive restart zone again, and Trey Graber leads another restart back to the green.
He is definitely getting his time up front this race, isn't he?
He wanted to show off his livery, apparently, as he run round turn 1-2. Brannon inside line, Pruitt on the outside. This is good for their championship charge, of course. Trey Jones is up there too, so he'll be garnering some good points. Smathers, if he can survive, will get good points as well across the rest of the playoffs. As Graber's been caught on the outside line, cut off the line for Pruitt to get through. Here comes Brannon, gets a push from Nate Owen to the front of the field. 5
Smathers
laps
through the middle.
Here comes Smathers. What a run!
Oh my God! That was aggressive, highly aggressive from Zach Smathers, who's now going to try and take the lead from Bailey Brannan.
He's got it
I've
right
heard
now.
theories that the reason that Zach Smathers was not here last week was he was down in the Baja training with some frogmen, and that's why he's been able to push forward at this point and get up to the front of the field. But I have to wait for confirmation post-race possibly. But Smathers has found some pace here tonight.
I don't know if I believe anything that anybody says about Zach Smathers, to be honest. Out of two, and there's Kostock in the middle. It's Schultzis who's sort of been sucked through the middle at the moment in 92. It's still free wide back there. Smathers now back in the pack as well as he pushes Paul Harris. He's making a run for the lead now.
Everyone's trying to make small gains towards the front of the field. 4 laps to go when we get to the start-finish line. And Paul Harris is now at the front with Brannan and Smathers and Owen. Pruitt wants to get up there, so does Graber and Jones. Anderson lurks in the background as well. It's anyone's game towards the end of the stage. And as we get to 4 to go, before that caution will fly, it is anyone who can claim the points to victory at the front as Harris takes the lead from Brannan.
4 to go until the stage. I think a caution would end the stage at this point now. We've done enough laps, so it's going to get more and more aggressive from here on in, and the playoff drivers have got to get themselves up towards the front. Look at the Rinkers as well. At least Charles Rinker is up inside the top 10 for the first time tonight. You can see that it's getting towards stage points time because these playoff drivers are starting to think about those points and getting in the top 10.
If it ends the way it currently is, which it very likely will not, of course, this would kill Mike Rinker's championship, you'd have to argue, Ewan. All the way back in P18, if Brannan, Harris, Smathers, Pruitt, Jones and Charles Rinker all gain on him, that could really kill his championship prior to getting to Miami next week in the final round.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't think he's very interested at the moment in the playoff points, the stage points. Sorry, is there going to be trouble here? That's really loose from Owen. I think that is on the inside. Smathers just gives him a bit of room, and we get away with it through 1 and 2.
Well, 3 laps left. Intensity has really risen up to this point as Paul Harris aggressively cuts off the line for Bailey Brannan. And now Zach Smathers with Pruitt on his heels starts to get pushed to the front of the field. There's contact made. Harris has given a big nod to Smathers, and it's 3 wide. Down through towards the tri-oval once again. It is high intensity at the front of the field.
Owen's trying to pull in front of the car in the middle there, and it's not going to happen. Brannan's going to lead the lap. 2 laps to go until the stage. You can see the guys outside the top 10, by the way. They don't want any part of this. They're backing away because they can see an accident happening, and it has. Oh, it's massive. It's massive into turn 1. And Zach Smathers is involved. The 00's involved as well. And that is a huge crash for Nate Owen as well in the 73. He was the one who went up into the catch fence.
Wow.
Fortunately, now in the Nickelodeon slime-coloured car, B Strong was caught up in that moment there with Zach Smathers at the end of that. So let's watch this back. So Owen gets cut right across. I think it was Paul Harris. It was. No, Paul just turned into the corner.
Car. The white car in the center. That was Rinker, I believe.
Did he give him a push?
Yeah, he hit him from behind. Here, let's go back and see if I can slow it down a little bit. There we go. Let's see.
No, so that's not Rinker. Rinker is on that low line.
All right, well, whoever that white car is, one car. Hone.
It's Chris Hone.
Is it Hone?
Who we know has been at the center of controversy this season already.
No, that's Trey Jones.
It's Trey.
It's Trey Jones got in the back of Paul Harris and caused that. I mean, again, not blaming it's super speedway racing. I mean, that's going to happen when you're 3 wide in front of you. But, yeah, so that's what made that happen. Let's do this. Let's go back here. Let's see. Let me get. Yeah. Let's go in car.
Sorry to Chris Hone. I forgot that Trey wasn't in his Twisted T car.
Yeah, no,
this
he's not. That's what happened. No. He got out of the Twisted T car.
Yeah.
So you can see here. Look, let's get it at full speed.
He had a hell of a run. So Pruitt is. Oh, did he actually get a push from behind? That's no.
Actually, he never touched him.
With Pruitt. It was Pruitt who
he never touched
to come
him.
Up on Harris.
Yeah, I don't think he ever touched him. Actually, you're right. One more time, same thing. Yeah, it was.
Harris came down.
It was Harris and Pruitt.
And then into Owen. So I actually think
Yep.
we need to put that onus there on Paul Harris.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's Harris and Pruitt. I mean, again, it's hard to blame people at super speedway racing. I mean, because cars are wiggling around so much down there, but yeah, that's what caused it. So yeah, apologize to Trey. That was not him. It sure looked like it from a distance shot, but that's why the beauty of having all these wonderful camera angles we've got.
According to the chat, no matter who caused it, I blame Paul Harris, no matter FYP, apparently.
Sure. I mean, that makes sense.
So, front runners into pit lane now that the stage has ended, Ewan.
Yep.
So,
I sound like
Anderson
Seth Rogen.
Martin,
Who is
apparently.
Oh, Seth Rogen. That's like the guy who does the voices.
He's not even American. He's Canadian.
Right, but he does the Family Guy, right? Is it?
No, that's Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, which one's Seth Rogen? The actor?
Seth Rogen is the actor who is known for the green substance and is from Canada. He made movies like Pineapple Express.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
This Is the End and Neighbors and stuff like that.
There was a time that back in the 80s, I mean, I could have been Seth Rogen.
He enjoys making pottery, does Seth Rogen.
Yes, yeah. Pineapple Express and all that.
Well, I'll tell you what, whilst we're here, let's drag in, as he's stuck in pit lane with a meatball flag at the moment, and we come out of pit road, let's drag in Zach Smathers, get his thoughts on the start of this race.
Right.
Zach, welcome. We've stolen you away. You want to get into any more wrecks tonight?
I'm trying to find the right words to say here.
Just know that you're on national television, okay?
Yeah. I'm trying to be safe about this. The last one I don't feel was on me, obviously. I'm not sure what happened. I haven't been able to get in, look at it yet.
Don't worry, we showed it
FYP.
5 or 6 times for you, so you'll have plenty of opportunity.
I'll have to look at that, and the first two, the just impromptu timing, and the first one was on me. The second one, I was trying to tell Strong that I was down there, and he just came down. So tough night.
So even tougher night at the moment. Paul Harris is leading the race, and that's probably the most egregious thing to happen.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I let the team down, let the country down. There's just not much.
I heard theories, Zach, that last week the reason you were away was you were down in the Baja training with some frogmen, and that's why you found so much pace tonight.
Yeah, I can't say exactly what the plan was last week. I can't really divulge it. I signed an NDA. I just kind of got kidnapped in my sleep, and there I was in the Baja.
Did you have any fish tacos while you were down there?
I did have some really killer fish tacos. The dude had long hair and kept talking about being governor of Minnesota. Sounded like Jesse Ventura. I can't. Yeah.
So, you watch your words. We might have to get you again.
Apparently we're bugged. Well, it looks like we're about to go back to green. Not that that's going to affect you at this point. So,
I'm just going to have to hope that Paul keeps wrecking and I can kind of claw back. I felt I had one of the better cars here. So,
well,
it is what it is.
One last thing. We did notice that bold, brazen move where you went 3 wide right up the middle to take the lead in the race there for at one point. That was pretty impressive.
I saw it. I said, why the hell not? It worked out well, but it probably put me in a bad position that I got caught up in that wreck just now. So, it is what it is. All
right, man. Well, we're going to return you, to the back of the field back there. Enjoy the view.
Yeah, I'll have to look at those eyes on Trey's car of Paul.
Zach Smathers, what an absolute character, Ewan.
I know, yeah. A great character of this series. He's still in the race. Talking about this race like it's over. I mean, he's only 2 laps down. Can you imagine the cautions we might get tonight? He's not out of it, I wouldn't say.
He only needs 3 to get back on the lead lap. He'll be up there.
He'll be absolutely fine. We've had 5 in the first half so far, so
That's true.
there you go. He'll have enough. We're just about to get to halfway. In fact, we'll get through it at the halfway in this next lap, actually, in the Shake and Bake 200. We've done about 100 miles, so time for another 100 here, and maybe a bit of a green flag run. Let's hope so, as Paul Harris brings them to the green and gets us back underway. Green flag racing from Talladega, and it's Paul Harris who brings them to the start of stage 2. And notably more single file this time, Jim, as they restart. Not too many runs on the outside, although an attempted block there from Trey Jones as Cody Pruitt tries to come up on the outside line.
Yeah, I think at this point, guys are running out of fast repairs and stuff, so they're going to start taking it a little more cautiously, I think, because they don't want their championship hopes to end here with a getting caught up in something at this point.
Pit stop in the background, by the way, happening for Caleb Ross, who's the last driver on the lead lap, but he's going to very fast drop off the lead lap if he's not too careful. Started off as a single file restart, but you can see an outside line already forming. There goes Pruitt. He drops down to 5th position there on the inside line. Doesn't want any part of this anymore.
Well, it didn't last very long until we got to 2 wide action, at least at some point in the field. We've got 2 lines further back at the moment. Harris leading the way to Trey Jones. Bailey Brannon is far, far back in the field at the moment. He's somehow dropped positions off this restart, but 37 to go.
For some reason, that doesn't concern me at this point in the race too much with him. He has a tendency to do that at some point and bounce back from it.
Look at this. This is a notably different run, isn't it? As they're on lap 40, but we'll see how long it lasts. I mean, these guys pitted quite a long time ago, let's not forget. For some of them, lap 12. And so if this goes on for too much longer, they're going to be in danger of that. I mean, they've already been out there for 28 laps. Yes, under a lot of cautions, but even so, you'd be worried about too long of a green flag run here.
It's too long of a green flag run. That could really change up some strategies and across this field. But, you still feel that even with single line racing here, Jim, that any little knock could cause someone to go off, and if drivers don't pick the line correctly to take avoiding action, well, we could still get massive incidents happening and more cautions throughout this race.
I mean, again, it doesn't matter that we're single file because these guys are having to feather on and off the throttle, and if they catch a run up on the back of somebody and don't lift soon enough and they hit them, it doesn't matter whether it's single file or not. It can still start the same kind of chain reaction. But here we go.
See Taylor Strong onto the back of Trey Jones. These lines are starting to form as we run onto the back straight.
Look at this run back here.
Oh, absolute mammoth run.
92 has got a massive run.
Yeah, Will Hawker and Sean Shulethis as well. Those guys are fighting forward. Stuck on the outside line now is the 11 entry of Strong. So he's just been caught out a little bit.
Yeah, and it looks like Harris is trying to actually block at the front, so he wants to keep this lead, and he's sort of changing lane accordingly as to whether it's the inside line or the outside that's actually threatening his lead. So it's the first time we've really seen this tonight, a driver attempting to take control of the field in its entirety, and Daniel Wing is looking for either side to get past Harris right now as well.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's a bad strategy. That's going to get Harris wrecked. I can promise you, this early in the race, that's going to get Harris wrecked. He pitted on lap 12. He needs to settle in behind somebody, use the draft, conserve his fuel, hopefully gets a caution and gets to pit. He doesn't need to be out there trying to block because it's not going to take much, and
especially at this point of the race, Jim. I mean, what's the worth in blocking with 34 to go?
Nothing. None whatsoever. All it's going to do is get you wrecked.
He's only going to frustrate the cars behind him. Eventually, they're going to get annoyed with him, and someone's going to dump him because that's what he needs to be careful of.
Shots this through the middle. He's going to get stuck through the middle here if he's not too careful. Or are we going to see a third lane forming here on the inside line? Because all the others on the outside actually went right next to the wall. They followed. Who is that up there? Is that Hawker?
That's
who's
Hawker,
leading the line. And yeah, we are going to see 3 lines because we've seen Rinker, I think that is. Oh, sorry, Trey Jones pull right in front of Schultz's. And yeah, we've got 3 lanes now officially.
Yeah, Trey Jones wants to get down. Here comes, I knew he was going to come down as soon as he got the chance.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in that middle, but there's just no room for somebody to have a wiggle, I mean.
Well, Harris needs to be careful here because Wing's trying to find a lane, but Harris is blocking it off.
Yep.
And
no, it's going to hook him eventually. He's going to.
It will.
Wing's going to get a run on him, right? Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, right here, like something like this. And then he's going to come down and try to block him. And, ooh.
Can't.
He did.
He's got no room.
Yeah.
No. Oh, he's going to get pushed through the middle. Schultz, this is on the back. This is dangerous. He's going to get away with it. Harris now on the outside line, though. But look at the amount he's got behind him. I think they're going to get a bit of momentum on the backstretch here as Wing leads briefly.
Yeah, if they could.
There's a couple more cars in that outside line. That might be the preferred option at the moment.
If they get their act together and get lined up, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, well, getting their act together is about as hopeful as the Actors Guild, Jim. I mean, it's a bit hard, it seems, for these guys to get their act together. But look at Harris, though, getting pushed back into the front of the field. He wants to drop down low, but he's got to be careful because there's Wing.
He's stuck.
That's cost him. He has absolutely cooked that as Paul Harris. He dropped way too early.
He wasn't clear either side very quickly there. And he's now in the middle, although Schultz is giving him some of the tow. So Hawker's going to ignore that and go on the outside. In the background, Graber, I think, is coming up through the middle here in car 20 is that. So we have got 3 lines again. It's only the front 14, by the way, involved in this right now. This field is a lot smaller. You're seeing most of it from this aerial shot here because the field has been decimated by the last few laps.
Sorry to interrupt. B Strong has copped a disqualification.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure why, but B Strong is disqualified as a lot of cars are coming in for pit stops. So here come the green flag stops.
Wow.
Yeah, that was not good.
And it's playoff drivers, by the way. All playoff drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Jones, Pruitt, Harris, Rinker.
If there's a caution thrown before the next set of cars come into pit road, this could really hurt Trey Jones, Cody Pruitt, Charles Rinker, and Paul Harris. Could really hurt them. If you're a Bailey Braddon fan, you are hoping that we get a caution by the time those guys need to come through pit road.
Schultz, by the way, has to try and get down low here. I think that's what's causing some of this. Schultz is about to run out of fuel. He last pitted on lap 12. He's desperate to get down, and nobody's letting him. He needs to get down and get into pit lane, and there he goes. He's found a place to get in now. He lets
but
Braddon
now he's
through,
got to get it slowed down.
Come in.
He's got to get off the track and get it slowed down without wrecking it.
There we go. Oh, he's managed it.
Yep, there he is. Oh, I don't know if that was pretty quick. We'll see. See if we see a black
Paul
flag.
Harris, by the way, sorry, Paul Harris has lost the draft compared to Jones, Pruitt, and Rinker. In fact, Jones and Pruitt might have left Rinker behind as well in the car 7. Yeah, so Harris has had a very bad stop there, and he's going to be off the lead lap very soon.
Yeah, I think this will actually kill those those guys' race at this stage because the front pack are all in their battle pack still. These guys have only got a small line happening. The longer that the front pack continue on, that's only going to hurt these guys now because they're not going to be able to chase them down.
Interesting.
Robert Stevens Jr.
Yeah, but he didn't try to hook up with him. He just went right on by him.
Oh yeah, but he might. But that allows 69 to get up to the back of him now, and he can.
Well, we'll see.
He can try and come. He can try and help.
But they're not that far ahead. Look, they are not that far ahead of this pack either. Look at it. You can see him up there.
But just continue monitoring the times on the tower there. Continue to look and see if it actually extends or whether those two running single file with Rinker, who has actually now caught back up again, are those three going to be quicker than this pack not working together? Because these guys are going side by side, slowing each other down. Those three are in a line working together, and you'd be surprised how few cars can work together better than a disorganised group like this.
Well, we'll see.
As disorganised as an accountant's drawer at this stage because there's receipts everywhere and you feel like that anyone can make a mistake and anyone can end up in the wall. Shalethis has just gone a lap down. Yep, there he goes.
And in the background, We've got a lap car coming to a stop, so it's going to be pit stops from here to the finish. A lot of them. Lap 55 at the very minimum. These guys will be able to make it to, if not further than that, with the cautions we've already seen.
Well, if they get to 55, they can make it to the end of the race. 27 to go now. They could actually pit at this lap and make it to the end as well. So this is now a critical lap for those cars at the front. If you want to be safe, you go till 25 to go, and then you will be guaranteed to make it to the end of this race. So
I mean, Mike Rinker's sitting up there in second, third place, depending on, he's alternating back and forth with 35. He pitted on lap 35. He's got a ton of fuel, man. He's going to get a short pit stop when he comes in, and he can ride this all the way for a long ways till the caution comes out,
Surely he's got to take tires, though, Jim.
No, I'm not saying he can't make it all the way, but he's got the most flexibility of anyone in that, in that very front pack, and you got a few other guys that pitted on 35 as well.
Well, the other one who did is Bailey Brannon, who's up there amongst this pack as well. Graber came in on 33.
Yes, Well, Brandon put it on 35.
Those guys have got, equally as much freedom compared to the other cars at the front of the field.
Yep.
By the way, look at these guys. Jones, Pruitt and Rinker are working together very, very well, and they are catching the leading group as things stand. They actually set some of the personal bests last time round. The leader last time round, William Hawker, set a 51.7. We'll see what the times are this time round as these guys go over the line. 51.4 for all three. They were 3 tenths quicker last time round. They are going quicker right now. The front group needs to get organised.
Yeah, they've got to get into single line. They cannot. This now is not about personal gain. It is not about taking. Sometimes you got to take the tactical L in the sense. Just tuck up in, get into a line, and push ahead, because the longer organised line will be faster than this smaller organised line. But whilst they're still disorganised, Ewan, that's going to be a hurtful stage for them at this point of the race.
I'm going to go back up here to the front. You keep your eye on these three, if you would, with the picture-in-picture camera.
There we go.
Goodness me, that was
Who
a squeeze.
was that?
Pruitt? No, I don't think it was
No,
Pruitt.
not Pruitt. He's in that second pack.
Of course, yes. That's one driver it absolutely couldn't be.
Right. That was 35.
Daniel
Cody.
Wynn.
No, it's Cody Nelson, I believe.
Yeah, I got it wrong twice. Wow.
Try again?
Yeah, it's. How many goes do I get? That was very, very tight. They're just not getting it at the moment, though, are they?
No, they're
nobody
not.
has told these guys, or at least not enough of these guys have been told, get in line, get organised. We're losing this race and we're killing ourselves here. They just don't seem to be really realising that at the moment, and they're still racing each other.
Yeah, this is now going to help Jones, Pruitt, and Rinko. If you're Brannon, for example, I'd be coming in. Get into pit road, try and line up outside and get into that little 3-pack line with Jones, Pruitt, and Rinko, because otherwise you are chewing away the time that they have got on you, and it's only going to hurt you towards the end of this race. And with 24 to go, we've had the longest screen period of the whole race thus far. You've got to try and think about other ways you can strategize around this now, because the longer that they sit disorganized, the worse it's going to be for those playoff drivers currently just inside the top 9.
But, I think if they come in at this stage, they're actually going to lose the draft to Jones, Pruitt and Rinker. I think they've already sort of made their bed here.
I agree.
They're going to have to lie in it. So I think they're better off staying out for as long as possible, hoping they catch a caution almost.
Yes,
And,
or
and
they
then
all
but,
come, or a big group of them comes at once, and then they got a potential good draft train too.
Yeah, exactly. They've got more chance of getting organised, actually, as weird as it sounds. They've got more chance of getting organised post a pit stop and sort of trying to recatch those front three than they have getting these guys to get organised, because, they're forcing it 3 wide now. It's getting less organised, not more.
Yeah, more, yeah. There's a lot. They're doing a lot of wiggling up there, man.
And that's, by the way, part of this is being created by Jack Anderson and Sean Schultzis, who are battling for the first car 1 lap down.
Yes.
You see them both on the outside there. They're really battling hard with each other, and it's really just unhelpful to the rest of the field.
Yeah, well
it's helping Taylor Strong at the moment, because it's helping him get into the race lead at this stage. I mean,
jeez,
that there's a guy that's getting helped with it. And the issue now for Anderson is he doesn't want to have to go past Taylor, because if he goes past him, he'll lose the wave around, because he all of a sudden won't be a lap down.
Well, at least you'll be on the lead lap. There is that. But and it's slow on the inside. Hawker's coming in, and we've got stops.
Yep. There's 4 of them coming in. Whoever
That's
that is.
a good group. That's a good size
Who
group
is that
as well.
The front car is who? The 11.
Strong, Rinker, Hawker, and Nelson.
Yeah, so exactly on lap 55. I thought they'd be able to go further than that, actually, but this might be the limit. But this, as I say, this is a very good-sized group because they can get organised on the pit exit and they can try and recatch those front 3, who will be quite a long way in front of them, by the way, when this all shakes out. But they have a chance of getting them back again with a 4-driver group trying to catch 3.
Yes, I agree. Where is... So that's interesting. Rinker decided to pit there, and he had the most... No, he didn't. Never mind. I'm sorry.
So are they out altogether? Where are they? Those 4. 3 of them are out together.
Well,
Who's
so
missing?
here's Harris back there. Taylor Strong has come out with Cody Nelson and Will Hawker. Mike Rinker's come out in behind that front 3.
Wow. Short
So Mike Rinker...
Well, he had the
has
shorter stop.
He's not taking tyres.
Yeah, he might have just lost the draft there.
No, I think he's in a... either way, he's in
gone.
between them, though, so...
Yeah, but if you're Charles, you're going to just maybe slightly lift a little bit, get Rinker or get your brother into the tow.
That's true.
And then draft back up to the 3 of them.
Yeah,
he tried. But, he couldn't do it. He's
it's
gone
not over
now.
yet.
He's gone.
It's not over yet. They
Keep trying.
Up here comes Daniel Wing into pit lane.
He's
Like
got
I suspected he
nobody
would.
coming with him. He's coming all by himself.
This now, these 5 cars are barring Jack Anderson. These 5 could now start to maybe get organised a little bit because they can go that little bit further than what Daniel Wing could.
By the way, great job, Charles Rinker. He might just have got Mike into the draft here. He's just got it now, Mike. He's just getting it. As long as Charles doesn't lose it himself, they've done a wonderful job there. That was a brilliant job from Charles Rinker to get his brother the draft, and Mike's in now. Mike's in the group.
This front pack continues to battle away.
He's gaining time. He's definitely in the group.
Where's Wing coming out at?
He didn't take tyres either, but he's going to be a long way back.
Yeah,
he went too long.
He's going to hope to be swept by Harris, Hawker, Nelson and Strong. It's good that Paul Harris is finally finding some friends, by the way. Robert Stevens Jr. should still be in that group as well. Oh no, Wing's going to lose that group as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not going to hook them. They're gone.
Oh no, it's a bad stop. Yeah,
he's in trouble. Yeah. Well, when you pit by yourself, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. You need a draft buddy.
Yeah.
You need a friend.
Well, this is
if anybody breaks into
green, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, the strategies in pack racing when you go caution free like that, there's so much with the who's going to be your buddy to draft with, like the fact that Charles was able to go back and get Mike, but managed to still stay in contact with his pack. I mean, there's so much involved in this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
For people, it kills me that people they point the thing and turn left. That's so. I get it, but still, it's so much more than that. And if those people would try it, they would quickly realize how much skill it takes to drive a car right absolutely on the edge of spinning out the entire time.
Yeah, I saw something similar to this in terms of, that sort of different skills that are required for different disciplines of racing and sort of arguing which one's the hardest. Is it sort of rally driving? Is it NASCAR racing because of the close quarters racing? Is it rally stage driving because of the lack of knowledge of a stage and you just don't know where you're going and the different surfaces and whatever? Is it Formula One racing because it's the fastest and there's lots of technical things? It's all these things that make each different discipline of motorsport interesting to watch.
That's right.
And there's no answer as to who are the best drivers properly, because it's just a different skill set for each discipline.
Yeah, the craziest ones to me are those rally drivers. That stuff is nuts.
do think,
Well,
by the way, the Harris group is catching the front four, by the way.
Yeah, they are. They're just starting to creep up on them, but the other pack, which is what would we assume is the corrected lead pack, which is Jones, Pruitt, Rinker, and then I'm trying to see who's on the back of that, who's amongst that pack. I think it's Chris Hone, who's actually a lap down, is in that train as well. So they're starting to chase them down too.
So the question is, can these lap 45 pit guys, can they make it?
Mm-hmm.
That's 30 laps.
Oh, actually, no, that's 30 laps. They can't. They're going to have to pit.
So these guys that are on 54, these guys that are on 54 right now are the ones.
So Mike.
Yeah, Mike and yeah.
But Mike could be left on his own because the only ones he's with at the moment are left on 45.
Well, yeah, but you got all those guys behind him that could stay out too, like Nelson, Strong, Wing.
Yeah, but the problem is, without a caution, they're not going to be around him, so he's just going to get buried. Once this front pack of cars comes in, when that top four comes in, because they're probably all going to come in together, they're going to come out together in their own pack, and Rink is going to be left on his lonesome.
Can you imagine if they don't come in together? It'd be the worst coordinated thing in the history of this
absolutely
championship.
Horrible.
Yeah, it would be real.
And here they come.
Oh, here we go.
They come in together, and they have.
Yeah, they are.
Oh
my God.
Oh, they nearly hit each other there. Brannan gets in first, and they come in with a lap car as well, which could be there to help them.
Yeah, that's Anderson who's coming with them, so they've probably choreographed that to work together as Graber and Anderson are in the same room.
I'm going to stay with these guys. I'm going to stay with Bailey. Because he's going to be the last pit stall.
They're going to come out of pit road. They're not going to be in the race lead, of course. That's going to go to Trey Jones. But the problem is, if this race continues under green, this pack of cars on the small screen is going to have to pit again, barring Mike Rinker. But Mike Rinker is going to be on his own, whilst that pack of cars is going to be chasing him down. So he'll have a lead for sure. He'll have probably a good 10-second lead. But those other cars, yeah, exactly. As they're all now on the low line, are they all... oh, no, I was looking at the main pack who's coming out of pit lane, so don't disregard me. My brain's gone at this point.
Hold on.
I'm trying to do a whole heap of mental math at once.
Here we go. The other three will be coming through here. It's only Strong, Martin and Graber now. Paul Harris is coming to pit lane as well, so he wants to find some friends somewhere else. But there go the three. So they've not quite organised this as well as they could have done, but the three on their own have worked very well together, Hawker, Nelson and Strong, and they are now chasing those front four. They were making inroads at one stage, but there's only three of them now, and I think they are starting to be overpowered with numbers.
Yeah, the lines are starting to come together. They've got to remain organised. There's no room for disorganisation. There is no room for getting flustered and confused and sweaty. You have to keep yourself in check. You need to make sure your competitors keep themselves in check as well. Even if it means that you have to let someone who's making a daring move to go around the outside, even if it means letting them go through, it is going to hurt you more than it will help you by trying to defend them. So you're better off letting them sit in the line, get up to the race lead's positions, and then battle for the race lead. I mean, we can see it happening right here with Cody Nelson trying to go for the outside line. You just let him have it. There's no point defending him because it's only going to hurt you in the end whilst you guys are sitting in two lines yourselves. You've got to sit in one line astern and try and organise yourselves because that's what's worked for the front pack thus far.
Yeah, but this second group now is bigger than that first group, so they can catch them if they get organised. And look at the size of it now. At least 7 of them involved. There's going to be another lap car that will get onto the back of them. This is a big group now. They have to stay single file, as you say. There is enough time in this race for them to catch, but there's no time to wait. They've got to do it from now until the finish, and they might just get there by the white flag. They've got to be organised right from the very beginning here. And here we go. This is really crucial now. Strong has got to push Hawker, be really aggressive now. Here he goes, getting to the back. Don't go to either side. Don't make him think you're going to try and make a pass. Just bump all the way. You've got to push, and look at the gap. It's growing. 10.3 seconds currently.
It is growing at a rate of knots. So the numbers we remember is it's 25 to 27 laps of fuel without the draft. With the draft, they could maybe, just maybe, get a 28th lap in. But can they make 30? That's the question, Ewan. Can they make 30 laps?
Believe one of them's going to try it.
With 31 to go. They're going to try.
You know, Charles has been in the draft the whole way. You know, he's not been. While Trey Jones has been pushing ahead through the sixth team, Charles Rinker has been lifting off probably all the way round. So, you know, I reckon he really might be quite close to making it.
Well, I mean, Cody Pruitt could be in a solid position. Charles could be. We know that Mike's good for fuel as well. But that front pack battling away of Jones, Pruitt, and Rinker, they're going to continue to fight. But this is the issue. They've got cars behind them now. If they start to get disorganized, that's going to hurt them. And Hawker and Co are going to chase them down.
Is it Hone and Harris who are fighting for the lucky dog position or something? Because
I think it might be. No. Hone's further up. Hone's in the third slot of that train. Here comes Harris. He wants that outside line. He wants the lucky dog position just in case a caution is thrown.
It is Hone and Harris. So sorry, those are the two who are the lap cars in here. But yeah, I mean, this is super unhelpful. Now you can see the gap tumbling for the first time. But those 2 laps that they've wasted might just be enough here. I think these guys are still going to be fine to make it all the way there. But this is unhelpful at the moment. You can see why Hone and Harris want to do it, because if there is a late caution, then they want to be on the lead lap fighting for the win. But this is not good for the front group at all. The second group, though, it just doesn't look like he's got the speed at the moment to do it. I'm not sure, with all respect to Strong, that he is the man to have in that pushing position there.
No, I don't think he is. I think it needs to be a Cody Nelson or a Bailey Brannon that's pushing along William Hawker, because unfortunately for Strong, he doesn't have the raw lap pace to push them along. So, for those guys to catch up, Brannon needs to be in that 2 position just to push along William Hawker.
Well, it is. You see the way he's moving. He's just not quite in the way in control of that car, is he, Strong, compared to what he should be. But look at this on the outside line, down the bottom of your screen, bottom right. Harris moves past Hone. So here he goes on the outside. They are side by side for the first car, 1 lap down for 14th position. The 2 Rinkers stuck behind. I don't think Charles Rinker will mind, because he will take the fuel save all day long.
He'll take fuel save for free every day of the week. Less than 10 laps to go of this race. 8 to go, in fact, now that the race leaders have crossed the start-finish line. The gap is still sitting roughly at about 10 point something seconds, but the something has gone up by half a second across the last few laps. So the second pack is losing time to the front pack. And as the point we made, it needs to be Bailey Brannon up in the 2 slot. Yep. It can't be Taylor Strong. He just doesn't have the raw pace to push William Hawker along and to get this next pack up to the front set of cars.
Yeah, and the problem is that behind Brandon is Ryan Simmons. So that's not a car that can push him up to that, up in front of the pack. What really needs to be is probably Brandon in front and Hawker behind.
Stops. Sorry, Jones, Pruitt, and
Rinker are in. So they remember we said they may not have enough fuel, and I think they've realised they don't. So that's now going to change the game. So all of a sudden, Mike Rinker, who has Paul Harris dragging him along, is now stuck at the front of the field. Watch this pack of cars chase him down like a hunted gazelle from a lion coming in to take over this race. 7 to go. Gap's already down to 10.2. Remember I said it was 10.9 at the start of the lap? It's already down to 10.2.
What he did there, by the way, was very, very clever with Chris Hone and Paul Harris. I think he is going to keep those 2, and they may well just win the race here, because Rinker can definitely make it on fuel. But the 2 around him, Harris is just about on the lead lap. You can see Harris just in front there, and he's put Hone right behind him, although Hone's had to pit in. But the reason why he did that was to give Hone the lucky dog should the caution come out, so keep them both happy. Harris and Hone would have been on the lead lap if there had been a late caution, and that's exactly why Rinker placed himself in that position. It doesn't matter anymore. Bailey Brannon's coming on the outside. He's given up, by the looks of things, on winning this race. They're fighting for second behind.
Well, it's not actually Hone who's in that little train
not
with the race leader. It's Robert Stevens Jr. who's on the back of it with Harris on the front. So that's the little sandwich that we're watching. 9.5 seconds is now the gap. Those guys have got to get into a line.
Let's flip-flop.
They've got to get into a line if they want to chase them down.
I mean, they've given up, haven't they? Either they've given up or they've just not entirely clear on the situation, because you're right. I think if they were organised, they'd have enough laps to catch him, but they're just not.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not coordinating anything. I think Bailey pulled up top to try to get some guys to jump behind him, because Hawker and them just, whoa, no,
Oh,
no.
he could get the caution.
Oh, they hung on to it.
Somehow they saved it.
Goodness me.
Oh, my goodness. That could have been the caution that those guys wanted, too, man.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Who's going to sacrifice themselves to give them all a chance to catch Rinker again? Because Mike Rinker is the only man in this field who doesn't want a caution. Who's going to sacrifice themselves?
Brannon is trying to get past Taylor Strong, but Strong's not going to give this thing up because he doesn't care about catching the front of the field. He's not in this fight because he's not in the playoffs. He just wants a podium. So he doesn't care about helping out Brannon and giving Brannon the position to help push them forward. Yeah, he's thinking about his personal race at the moment.
If I was Brannon, I wouldn't be bothered about Rinker up front, to be honest with you. Brannon's still 4th place. This is a solid finish. He's ahead of all the other playoff drivers. You know, lose 3 points, or well, it'd be more than 3 points, wouldn't it? Be 7 points to Rinker. But Rinker, because of the stage points, is now 19 behind Brannon. So losing 7's absolutely fine going into Miami.
Well, he's also gaining on Trey Jones, who's back in P10 at the moment. So that's the gain for Bailey Brannon right now. He'll lead the championship into the final round off of this result.
Yeah. And how damaging for Jones and Pruitt to be down there, by the way, and Harris as well. Other big championship contenders are a long, long way down here. Charles Rinker as well.
Now, if there's a caution that's going to be thrown, it's got to be on this lap or the next. They won't throw it on the white flag lap. And if we get one now, we're guaranteed to go into overtime.
What a great last run this has been, by the way. Absolutely fantastic to watch this final run to the finish. Rinker is going to win this if there's no caution, but that is a big if at the moment because they're going to fight hard for second, it looks like.
Oh, big contact!
Oh, there it is!
It's been taken out! No caution has been thrown!
There it is.
It should be. There it is! Brannon has been in the wall!
Oh, my God.
And Brannon's day is arguably done.
Is it?
And he's had to tow back to pit lane.
Is it done? Because he's going to get a he's got a fast repair.
Yeah, but he's towed back. He's got to wait for the tow.
He's going to be a lap down.
Yeah, if he ends up a lap down, then yeah. I tell you what, if I were him, he might, unless it was just tore up and he couldn't.
That could be the championship gone for Bailey Brannon. Because all of a sudden, Trey Jones is now ahead of him in the top 10, in the train, and could easily gain more positions. The only world now...
actually focused on the guy who was involved in the wreck. That would probably help.
It's just a big stack up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he smacked the wall good for sure. But I wonder if that toe was out of frustration.
No, I just think he knew. The car wasn't starting. It was killed. He cooked the car. Engine was gone.
Yeah, well.
So he's had to tow back. He'll wait for the tow. He'll get his fast repair.
Goodness me. A green flag run of 30 odd laps, something like that. Green flag pit stops. Absolutely brilliant to watch, and it's going to end in a 2-lap run to the finish. Mike Rinker will be unpleased.
Ooh, look at that car on that road, would you?
Yeah, that engine went. That's why he towed back. He's still waiting for his tow.
Yep. Wow.
Goodness me.
Yep, green, white checker here.
As well. Graber's in too. Wings in, so I think they're all coming in for tyres. Harris is in as well, now that he's back on the lead lap.
Yeah,
so this could change the game a little bit.
If you're at the back, you might as well.
Sure.
Anderson's now just gotten back past.
Do remind me, by the way, do we have unlimited overtime attempts or a limited amount?
I think we have 2.
It should be 1 or 2, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have 2. So we could get a caution, which then gives us another green white checkered.
Well, my recollection is that early in the season, we had a situation where we went and had the second one, and we went for clarification, and they said that we only were going to have one. What?
Jim, how many fast repairs do they get?
Just one, I believe.
I think Brandon's already used it.
Oh.
Because he's been in there now for 3 minutes. That's race over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's done. As soon as you went a lap down, it was race over.
Well, no, that's right. But more or less, it's race done, and it's hopes of getting anything back from Trey Jones is now gone.
Yep.
Because Trey's about to gain on him. He's going to lead the championship for the first time this season. He's going to lead the championship. That's leading into the final round.
Wow. Well, and Trey's not done. I mean, he's still got a fast car. And now he's going to be back up at the front. In theory, he could win this daggum race. I mean, you know, because this is going to be absolute mayhem here. They've been going 3 wide on lap 5 in the race. Imagine what they're going to do on lap 73.
Yeah.
It raises the question as well, and the obviously controversial talking point of Taylor Strong is not in the playoff fight. He's situated right in front of a playoff driver. Should he have given Brandon the position?
I'm fixing
to help him.
I'm fixing to grab Trey Graber real quick. Where is he out on track?
Okay. Here we go. Hello, Trey.
Trey.
Hello.
Quick question for you, sir. Clarification. This is one green white checker attempt, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that it was. So we wanted to make sure, just so we knew how to call it here. Thank you, sir. Get back there and take care of your business. Finish your race out and get your nice top 10 going right now.
Will do.
All right, man. Thanks.
So, 2 laps to decide it.
This is it.
That was lap 75, by the way, that one there. But we will go on to 78. Everyone will have enough fuel. I'll go through the field actually, and those who can win it here on the lead lap. Mike Rinke will start on the inside line. Behind him will be Ryan Simmons, then Charles Rinke, I think, or is it going to be? It will be Charles Rinke. Also on the inside line there. On the other side, William Hawker will be pushed by Cody Nelson and Cody Pruitt, who's in a decent position on the outside there. I think watch out for your pick, Hamish, there, Cody Pruitt, but. Also, you've got to say that track position could be an advantage as well if this is a short green-white checker, towards a caution early on.
It's, pressure's on.
I would say
Hawker will get pushed by Simmons. Nelson will be pushing Rinke, and then Pruitt and Charles Rinke wanting to try and get into their little groove, but.
I would say you hit it right on the head there, though. This is entirely possible. This isn't going 2 laps, right?
Oh no, for sure.
Because they're going to throw it out there 3 wide, maybe even 4 wide. Somebody's going to try to make a move.
They're going to try. If you're Charles Rinke or if you're Cody Pruitt,
if I'm Paul Harris, I'm going to throw it out there because he's back at
Well, right.
Why not? You ain't got nothing to lose at this point.
You've got tires. Yeah, it's entirely possible you could slot yourself some good points.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We're fixing to go green right here.
Let's see. Here we go. The drivers, Mike Rinke, will lead them to the end. It's going to be 12 cars on the lead lap fighting for the win in the Shake and Bake 200 here from Talladega. It's time for Blue Line Technologies overtime from Talladega Superspeedway. And green flag waves. Rinke gets a jump on the field with 2 to go.
Well, Hawker's going to try and line up right in behind him now. So watch that outside line if they start to get pushing here. There's only 12 cars left on the lead lap, and it's anyone's game, but Nelson is dropping positions, and that's going to hurt Cody Pruitt as he tries to run forward. 2 laps to go. Who is going to get the benefits of this strategy here tonight? Trey Jones dropping a couple of spots now. Pruitt wants an outside run.
Yeah. And he's getting caught up. That's on the outside line. Wing, who's trying to get rid of Pruitt here. And, big push through the corner from Pruitt. He's going to bring Simmons to 3rd briefly, but Hawker still pushing Rinke out front. Mike Rinke with a brilliant push on the inside, and now Pruitt's abandoning them. He's going up 3 wide.
3 wide action. White flag's about to throw as they cross the start-finish line just after the tri-oval. Pruitt's been caught out here on that outside. White flag. 1 to go. It's Rinker's to lose at the front of the field. Hawker wants to try and get through as well. It's a scrambling for position back there. Brannon's back out on the road. So he ended up, he did have a fast repair available, but it was a long tow for him as he's just trying to get to the end of this race. But right now, it doesn't look like Mike Rinker's going to drop out. I think he could get this win.
And it's 4 wide, and there's a crash in the midfield. Trey Jones is involved in it as well. Only 4 left out front. Mike Rinker still leads the field. We're going to stay green to the finish. It's going to be a race to the line. Hawker's going to try and come past Rinker if he can. Nelson's in there as well. What point does he jump here, Hawker? He's been pushing Rinker all the way through. It's a big run from Charles Rinker in the background. When does Hawker go for this? It's going to be a photo. But Mike Rinker wins at Talladega Superspeedway. The best strategy here tonight has won out in an overtime finish. By less than half a tenth of a second, he wins the second Bake 200 and he puts himself right into playoff and championship contention.
Whew. Wow.
Charles Rinker then had to make a choice. Do I help William Hawker and cost my brother the win, or do I try and go to the outside and see if I can sneak a second place? You saw him think about it for a second, that he couldn't push the line. He's like, wait, no, if I do that, my brother will lose the win. Unfortunately, then that last incident, that was Daniel Wing. That was on him on that last incident, and realistically, Wing has been involved in a multitude of incidents tonight.
He has indeed. Quite a few.
When we go to Miami next week, he's gonna have to tighten the screws a little bit, because he was involved in a lot of crashes tonight. Now, whether that was Brannon giving him a little knock,
yeah, that's
what
I want to see. Hold on, let's see. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna try to.
You know, that was messy on the last lap, but that's what we expect from super speedway action.
It certainly is. Paddy Brannon in the end up 14th, by the way. He didn't get all the points he could have done out of that. He was not first 1 lap down, but very provisionally in terms of points after that. Trey Jones will be leading. He got through this better than anybody else, really.
I don't think he touched him.
No, he hit the wall.
Yeah, he hit the wall. Yeah, that was all on him.
So, sorry, just to go through it, this is an unbelievably close championship. If this turns out to be the case, this is all provisional, just based on the maths that I've inputted into my sheet. So, Trey Jones will lead the championship by 3 points in front of Charles Rinker. Bailey Brannon will be 4 points off of Jones. Mike Rinker, 6 points down. Cody Pruitt and Paul Harris both 9 points down, and they'll be the only ones realistically involved in the championship fight. That's 6 drivers, 9 points, and 1 race at Homestead next week to decide it.
That's incredible. What an incredible finish we're going to have when we head out to Florida next week. And
look at these two shots with these two brothers right here, man. Look at this, would you?
Don't you know, brothers kiss each other on the lips, Jim? That's what they're doing right now.
In Alabama, they do, definitely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, I just want to make sure I get them a good image on camera so they can screenshot that for themselves. That's a good.
Well, whilst we do that, let's drag in our. Do we want to talk to the Rinkers together, actually? Because otherwise, we'll drag Charles in before we drag in Will.
Yeah, let's just left, so drag them both in.
That question. We'll drag them both in. Charles Rinker, Mike Rinker, P1, P3. Just quickly before I let Ewan take over the interview for a second, Charles, I saw you on that last lap coming up to the line. Yeah, it looked like you had a little thought process there of should I push Will to the lead and cost my brother the race win, or was it you were just trying to go for the outside? Because it looked to me that you had a bit of a decision to make.
I just knew I could get to third. I didn't think I was really going to help Hawker there, and towards once we got to the line, I kind of knew I wasn't going to push him to a win, but I knew I could get that podium, which was really great.
Well, I think it was an intense finish. Mike, you were left in a little 3-pack pretty much after the pack of cars came into the last pit stop. And then that caution was thrown. Were you sweating absolute bullets once that caution came out and prior to the green-white checkered scenario?
Yeah, up until, I don't know, turn 2 after the restart. Yeah, I was sweating some serious bullets. I mean, we pulled off to a pretty decent lead there, and it seemed like we were holding it and the outside line wasn't forming. So I just kept watching that mirror, and it never really materialized. And coming out of 4, I was like, man, it's me first or second. So happy it was me first. So.
Well, I mean, congrats, Mike, on the win in the end from me as well. I mean, what was your thought process in terms of strategy throughout that race? You seemed to be the one who had the handle on that the best in the field. Did it feel like that from your perspective as well?
I think I kind of got lucky. I stayed in the back most of the race, and when I decided to turn it on, it just happened to be the right time. And also, I got really lucky when I came out of the pits. I had more fuel than everybody, so I didn't need as much. So when I pit with everybody, I was miles ahead of them. And my brother actually, he helped me out a little bit, caught me up to that pack, and I think that saved my race.
Yeah, that was very well coordinated, by the way, between the two of you. I'm presuming the two of you were chatting at the time, or whether it was just telepathic, but it was very well coordinated by the two of you to get yourself into that group. Very provisionally in the championship, I've put some numbers into some maths and worked out that you, I think, will be 6 points off the championship lead going into the last race. I think after tonight. Well, obviously your ambition would be to win it, but how realistic do you think that is? We think 6 drivers covered by 9 points going into that last race.
It's going to be tough. These guys that are on top of this leaderboard are all tough. They're all going to be up there in it at the end, and I'm going to need every point I can get to cover 6 points. So.
And so I just want to go back to the start of the race as well, Mike, before we let you go. You seem to have a strategy of hanging out at the back before even prior to the stage. You might have picked up a point or so at the stage, but not many. Was it an effort for you to stay at the back? And how important was that to your race as well, to hang out at the back first of all?
That's my go-to strategy at super speedways. Stay at the back, stay about 5/10 back off of the pack, so that way anything that happens in front of you. You have plenty of time to stop. You let a lot of these guys destroy their cars, and if you're there to race for it at the end, I mean, what was there, like 10 cars on the lead lap at the end, if that? So that's usually my go-to.
And Charles, you'll be second place in the championship now, according to my maths, after this round, just 3 points off. I mean, how are you viewing that title finale with yourself, Mike, and 4 others still involved as well?
I'm just happy that we're all up here. All the guys that are trying really hard are getting there, and we got a tight group of guys to go for the championship here. I'm just looking forward to see who can come out on top to next week.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to both of you for chatting to us. I've got to tell you, Mike, before we go, I predicted at least a month ago that you would win this championship, so I'm still rooting for you as much as I'm allowed to.
Thanks for rooting for me.
As much as I'm allowed. So yeah, good luck for next week to the both of you. Thanks for coming to chat to us tonight, and we'll see you in 7 days.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. See ya.
Thanks so much, Mike Rinker, Charles Rinker, first and third tonight, and deservedly so, you'd have to say as well. The best non-playoff driver tonight was William Hawker, and he finished in second place. Will, welcome in. Good to have you with us. How close were you there in terms of your belief to winning that race? How close do you feel you got to winning that race, and what would you have done differently maybe if you could redo that green-white checker?
I mean, I'll be honest, I was surprised how he even got up to the front pack with all these guys battling all season long. Earlier in the race, me and Cody Nelson got a good run. We accidentally popped it out 3 wide, but ended up getting up to that front pack, and we were both like, there's a good chance we could kind of stay up here. Once that green-white checker last one hit, and I was able to just drop right down behind Cody, I told Mike on radio, I was like, just keep it straight, dude, and I'll push you all the way to the end. And we made it happen. Best finish of the season. Happy I finally got a good finish.
Yeah, how has your season been in total? It's 15th place for you in points coming into tonight, but you should move up a few places tonight as a result of this finish here. How have you found the season?
I mean, I've had a lot of fun. The first couple races of the season, I got caught up in just a lot of other people's wrecks. I had 2 or 3 races where I got a motor blown because I had already used a quick repair earlier in the race. I got caught up in a lot of other people's stuff this year. But I mean, that's racing. It is what it is.
Well, it certainly is. Thanks very much for coming to have a chat with us after tonight here, Will. And once again, congratulations on the second place finish tonight.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for all you do.
Thanks so much. That's William Hawker, second place tonight from Talladega. Is there anybody else you'd like to have a word with, Hamish or Jim, before we go?
No, I don't think so. I think Paul's in the broadcast waiting room, but FYP. So,
what does that mean, by the way?
Yeah,
I'll tell you when we're off the air.
Okay.
Anyway. I think that covers it. I mean, we.
Right.
So, I'll leave it to you for closing summary.
Well, yeah, thanks very much. I mean, yeah, what a great race it was. Caution filled in the first half. Certainly, first stage had 5 cautions within it. Or indeed, the stage break was the 5th caution, I should say. But then for the next nearly 40 laps, we went green. It was a brilliant run and nearly ended up with Mike Rinker winning by seconds. In the end, Mike Rinker won by 10ths of a second as he held off the others in a green-white checkered finish. I mean, final thoughts from yourself, Hamish and Jim. I think that was probably the race of the season, in my mind anyway. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Super Speedway racing is so often, I think, too quickly characterised as just a big old crash, but when you get a long green flag run like that, I don't think there's much more fascinating strategic racing in the world, never mind in oval racing, but in the world it's absolutely brilliant when you get a run like that, and we certainly enjoyed one of those.
Yeah, I think it was probably it's definitely up there and probably one of the top 3 races of the season. For my mind, my favourite race of the season was Red Bull. I think it was just interesting seeing everyone run around that circuit. Actually has nothing to do with the fact that Jack won that race. I just thoroughly enjoyed seeing these cars.
And it's your
around
favorite
a road
track
course like that. It is my favorite track in the world, to be fair. So that also has got some plaudits as well. But I think honestly, outside of Red Bull Ring, I think my favorite race prior to this point of the season was probably I want to say either Charlotte or Nashville. Both of them were really, really good races, but I think this has definitely been the best race of the last half of the season, for sure. Probably been the best we've seen from super speedway racing as well, and I think Homestead next week is going to be an almighty race, one where the championship is as close as it's ever been this season, and one where it is anyone's game when we head out to Florida next week.
So,
Jim?
Yeah, my thoughts are, first and foremost, I think this is what super speedway racing can bring you. A lot of times they do get classified as a crash fest, like you said, but this right here is a little bit of all of that, because the reality is people watch racing for passes and action and wrecks. And this race gave you all of that. You had action, you had passing, you had accidents, you had strategy. And I have to say, if you look back and analyze what really happened here, Mike Rinker's strategy was brilliant. He had fuel. He could have stayed out. He chose to pit with those guys anyway. And by doing so, he got out first because he needed less fuel than they did. And ultimately, that was the winning strategy. Had he stayed out and pitted later, when he could have done, which he could have done, he probably doesn't win this race. But he chose to pit there, knowing that he was going to need less fuel than them, and he got off pit road ahead of them. And ultimately, I think that's what won him the race. That's fantastic strategy.
Yeah, exactly. It was absolutely brilliant, and he thoroughly deserved to win the race. I mean, would have been nice to see that green flag run through to the end, actually, but it was a good final couple of laps as well in terms of a drama here from Talladega. We'll bring you, of course, the updated standings when we get them ahead of next week's race at the finale, which is coming to you from Homestead, of course, next Saturday night, so make sure you join us for that. We think, though, 6 drivers will be covered by less than 10 points. If my spreadsheet is correct, it's probably going to be inaccurate in a point or two here or there, but, I mean, there's going to be 6 drivers fighting for it, I would say. Trey Jones, Charles Rinker, Bailey Brannan, Mike Rinker, Cody Pruitt and Paul Harris are all going to have a decent chance here at that final race of the season. So make sure you join us for that. We'll be live, of course, as always, with that final round of the I2I Motorsports Xfinity Championship, live coming to you from Homestead Miami Speedway. Hope you'll join us then. I've been Ian O'Leary alongside Hamish Munro and Jim Cunningham tonight, and we will see you in 1 week's time in Miami. Goodbye for now.